Pubg Mobile Star Challenge World Cup 2019. It's also day 2 where we find out what teams will be moving through into the final day, kicking off tomorrow. I'm Jason Kaplan, joined by the lovely, paper thin, and the more healthy-looking Valdez. First of all, Valdez, how are you feeling today, man?
Much better. I feel like an alive person, even though maybe my voice is still a little bit dead from yesterday. Took a lot of medicine, got a healthy amount of sleep, over 12 hours, and I'm here. I'm ready to cast finally. Well, I hope so. For day number 2. Should be some fun, guys.
I thought we were supposed to have 2 casters as we're listening to the highlights. It was just all you, but you carried it for him. Big man, standing out. How you feeling today?
I'm feeling really good. I just stayed away from Brendan all day, and I'm still healthy. I'm like coming over this way.
Go over on that side.
But no, I'm feeling great. This has been a lot of fun. The MENA teams were a lot of fun to watch, so I'm excited to see what they're going to bring to us on day number 2. And of course, the international teams, they're all very solid. We saw a lot of, even play between a lot of them. No team really kind of ran away with it, except for RQ a little bit. But other than that, it's been a pretty well-balanced tournament so far.
Yeah, we got to see Elementrix pick up their first chicken dinner in what seems like forever for them. We had RQ Athena get second place, I think, 2 times, getting so close to be able to get that chicken dinner for themselves, but put themselves in a really good place to move into the final day. But let's take a look, though, at the overview of the entire tournament. If you guys just joined us and you weren't here yesterday, you missed out on really what's entailed, what the whole thing is going to be about. We've got 32 teams in total that will be playing over the course of these 2 days to determine which teams will go through into the finals on the 14th. And, of course, the point system, very important. If you guys were here last year, it's a little bit different since then.
Yeah, it's 20 points for first place this time around, a kill point per kill, so the kill point's definitely a bigger part of the pool, and 14 for second, 10th for third, so on and so forth, and hey, you just get a point even if you don't do anything, so,
Participation point.
Yeah, it does feel kind of bad if you do get below 10th place, so you want to make sure you're getting a lot of kills. We saw actually one of the teams yesterday, 6N team, they picked up 20 kills in the 1 round, which would equal getting a first place. I think they got 4th place at the same time when they did get that amount of kills, but an insane amount racked up. Today we are going to do Miramar and Sandhawk, so a little bit different today in terms of the maps.
And the crazy thing is, as you can see here, it's day 2 and then finals. You play 4 matches total, and you have to make it into the top 8 to advance into the finals. We'll be playing out 5 matches. That's so tough. Like, knowing, paper thin, that one mistake could cost you your entire chance to make it through in the finals, the pressure's definitely on, especially today.
Yeah, big time pressure, especially on some of the favorites coming into this, especially from the international group. We were looking at Top Esports, Team Unique, a few others that really underperformed yesterday, and a slow start is no excuse for this. You got to get it going. You got to find your frags. You got to find the right moments and be aggressive here.
We can see how much is on the line for the money as well for all these teams. $100,000. That's, I believe, half of your day rate, Valdez, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, yeah, well. Yeah, definitely a lot of money for all of us here on the desk, and potentially for these teams that are coming out here today. And you guys were mentioning it making into the final day. That really is the main thing for any of the teams here, and already some of them have made their mark. 46 loot up on top so far.
But you can see, though, like, any team currently in 9th through 16th place still technically can qualify, but you got to take home a chicken dinner, and you have to be consistent in your placings elsewhere. That's going to be something we're going to have to look at when we get to the international teams as well, because of how, equally skilled they all are across the board. But 46 loot, only 1 chicken dinner, but they've hands down looked like the most consistent team we've seen so far.
Well, and I think what's really interesting about 46 loot is this is a relatively unknown team to a lot of the people in this region even. Now, I talked to the Arab casters before the event, and I said, I went through all the teams, and 46 loot, I just wrote a bunch of question marks because nobody really knew what to expect from them. They're a team from Jordan. They're incredible. They played out of their minds yesterday, and they can frag, and they can get it done positionally as well.
And even ME Assassins, I mean, we did see in the very first game Sage just have a ridiculous game, able to almost 1v3 at the very end to win it for them. But now the international standings here for Group B. Valdez, this is kind of spicy if you look at the bottom half of the standings.
Yeah, the bottom half and even the middle there, I think you should look at. There are so many teams that are very close in points, and really anybody that's above probably 14th place on this list could make it into the next day. Sorry, Top Esports, no rage. We'll see if he can actually make it happen. I mean, it is possible that you come in with the chicken dinner and a bunch of kills to catch up, but it's not going to be easy, RQ Athena. on top so far, really far ahead of every other team right now, actually.
Yeah, and we obviously got to hear quite a bit about the teams yesterday, but we again want to hear from the other teams. Let's actually take a listen in to the other team's thoughts coming into the tournament today.
Star Challenge'ın Arabistan'da olacağını duyduğumda heyecanlandım çünkü farklı bir kültür. Görmek istediğim bir yer. Turnuvada korktuğumuz bir takım yok. Biz çünkü Türk'üz ve Türk'ün gücünü onlara göstereceğiz.
Yes, last weekend we played PMCO at Malaysia and it was a big experience for us. But now you're here to play PMSC, you're very confident. You're about to show the world what Brazilians can do at the global stage. Só vamos, aqui é Brasil.
Ich sag mal, wir haben schon mit vielen Teams zusammengespielt, auch in Scrims haben wir zusammen partizipiert. Aber zum Beispiel, ich sag mal, Team Unique ist ein starker Gegner. Ich sag, das sind die Teams, die sowieso auch in den Finals immer kommen. Das sind immer die gleichen Teams. Unique, Yalla Esports wird kommen, Top Esports wird dabei sein, Team Kesso vielleicht. Und wir werden auch dabei sein. No Rage.
Я думаю, любая другая команда понимает, что нельзя никого недооценивать. Наша команда Team Unique, мы являемся двукратными чемпионами Европы и единственными чемпионами Европы.
Creo que no somos un equipo con mucha influencia, pero sí hay varios equipos que no tienen en el ojo. Team Queso quiere y busca un top 1.
I think we are probably best team in Nepal. We are playing for like pretty long time together. It's been like 1.5 years. We play a lot of scrims. And we are pretty confident about here playing in this tournament.
मेरे टीम की स्ट्रेंथ है हमारा ट्रस्ट, एग्रेसिवनेस और हमारा डोमिनेशन। सबका सपना होता है देश को रिप्रेजेंट करना एंड यस अभी ये हमारा सपना पूरा हो चुका है, बट अभी जो मेन हमारा एम है वो ट्रॉफी के लिए है।
Ya, kami nggak peduli dengan permainan Arab seperti apa. Yang penting kami yakin dengan tim kami sendiri. Ya, tim kami akan usahakan permainan yang sangat bagus. Kalian semua hati-hati ya.
Bol şans onlara.
I want to see you in Yasnaya.
Und haben uns gut darauf vorbereitet.
Sem choro.
Well, Gatak, I want to see you in the finals. Forget Yasnaya. You need to focus on bigger fish right now, getting through into the finals. And if you joined us yesterday, you noticed we started off with Group A. We started off with the MENA teams. But today we're starting off with Group B. And you can see RRQ Athena currently are victors, are leaders at the moment. And I think we're all in agreement when we say they're guaranteed through into the finals tomorrow.
Yeah, at this point, there's no way they don't have enough points. I would put the cutoff somewhere around 34 to 36 points is my guess, is where the 8th place team in the group is going to come through. Of course, 2 second places for them. Ernie and Senior leading the way with 7 kills each.
Is he crying? Is Marco crying?
I think it's just a lighting effect. The veins popping out of his face. He's ready to go.
He's just so happy about getting 2nd place so far. I remember he was doing the... He might actually be crying. I don't know.
Whoa.
It did look like there were some tears.
He's like bobbing, so I think maybe he's feeling a little under the weather. Like headache or something?
He would not be the only one.
Well, I didn't see any tears on your side.
Yeah, well, I did a lot of crying by myself in my hotel room.
I did hear some
whimpering. I didn't want to
whimpering.
show you guys, but...
I did hear some whimpering. I thought it was just a ghost or something.
I was really trying to keep it under wraps.
Typhoid Valdez
in front
over
of my
here.
friends, you know.
Well,
I wanted to look cool, but I couldn't hold back when I got back
you're
home.
cool in my eyes. You saw Elementrix there. They were able to take a chicken dinner, the first one yesterday. And EGC KR Black, I am actually quite surprised in this team because they've been able to pick up quite a few kills. Like this is a team who had, I think, 39 overall, I wrote down, when it came to PMCO Global Finals. And so far, if I can remember correctly, if one of you can help me out here and how many kills they have total, 15, thank you. I was trying to tell one of you were able to do the math for me, but already 15. Almost, I had to find their team.
Caster math.
But almost halfway there. And they played out 16 games in the finals. And they've only played 2, and they're almost halfway there. Living on a prayer.
Yeah, that first game was solid. They picked up some kills on Ghostgilla, who was trying to cross in between them and ARW to get into the fields over there, and then they were able to just kind of prone in the grass, pick up a few more kills along the way. I think a bit of a mistake letting Foxy go that one time, but other than that, a solid start for them, and then 5 more kills. Yeah, they didn't get above 8th place in that second round, but so they only got 1 placement point, but they got 5 more kills, so they put themselves in a really solid position to go to the final day.
So Bear in the PMCO Global Finals for EGC, he had 16 kills total. I think he was the top fragger for his team. He's currently on 8th, so he's already halfway there from 2 matches alone. I think this is showing the work EGC's been able to put in the week they've had, maybe the experience of playing at LAN's been able to help out. Ayala, I mean, we saw him do some serious work when it came to PMCO Globals, but we haven't really seen them do too much. The only thing we saw out of Queso was like, on the second map on Vikendi, they played outside the circle for the entire time, and then like Zone 8 came in, and they just rushed straight to the center, got themselves set up with 4 players, and then just held the hill.
And they got the chicken dinner from it, so you can't really argue with the results there at least. And they said, hey, we're not the most influential team in their interview, whereas a lot of other teams were coming in strong with the trash talk. They were very laid back, and I kind of like that style. We'll see if they can actually make it into the second day and perhaps be a little bit more influential in their own eyes, as well as some of the other fans that are watching. We're almost ready to get into Miramar here. Different maps today.
Yep. And one team I'm looking towards is going to have to be Top Esports. I know you talked about them earlier, Valdez, but this is a team who we get second place in PMCO Global Finals for the fall split, and yet they've really been unable to perform. They only have, I think, 3 kills in total. Hopefully they can step up today because we're about to get underway. It's going to be Miramar, and it's going to once again be brought to you by the 2 handsome gentlemen to my left-hand side, Paper Thin and Valdez.
All right, well, let's kick things off.
You're welcome for the compliment.
Number 3. I was just so taken aback. I mean, Jason's so handsome. Like, that's a really high compliment.
You're lost in his doe eyes, right?
I'll give you your money after the game. Don't
All
worry.
right, thank you. Yeah. All right. So we're starting the plane path over Impala. This is a very brutal plane path. We're going south. We're starting at Impala, which is already pretty well down there, and then we're going more south. This is not going to be easy for the teams that want to go north. There could be some congestion over the vehicles early on. So this is this one ought to be a little more interesting out the gate, I feel like.
Yeah, it's we saw a lot of plane paths that were kind of standard yesterday, but then they ended up having some pretty crazy circles. But as you did mention, this is a bit different of a flight path, and it will be very difficult to make it up to the top side. Vehicle's going to be quite valuable on this kind of a flight path. And yeah, it's interesting to go into the international teams once again here. I feel like the international teams overall played a little bit slower, a little bit more careful compared to the MENA teams yesterday. But you know what? It changes day by day. You know, there could have been a bit of nerves in the first day. Could have been just getting used to playing on the stage. And now everything changes up. It's day 2. We got new maps. And these teams are going to be fighting for their chance to make it in as, well, Kitsune's got a pistol, trying to see if he can get a bit of damage done, but not quite able to there.
Yeah, this was one of the ones I was looking at on the map as everybody was dropping. Unique and Queso kind of trying to get that easternmost road and get the vehicles and get moving up to wherever they feel like going, whether that be El Azahar or Tierra Branca, something like that. But for now, the circle does reveal itself. A pretty fair circle overall, centered around La Bendita, so you've got a bit of room to work with here. And the first circles will be going a little faster today. We should mention that. There was about 120 seconds on the first one. Now we're down to 60 seconds. So,
Oh, boy.
Somebody got run over. ETG, you jinxed him, Jason. He's over here throwing his hands up. Entity Gaming, another team that we thought would be one of the favorites coming into this with a bit of a struggle early on.
Yeah, we only saw Neo go down there, so we didn't actually get to see that on our screen, how that happened, but he got ran over after getting knocked by an AK. So perhaps separated from the rest of his teammates, he gets punished for that. And we saw that plague some of the teams yesterday. Even Top Esports a couple of times had their scouting player or their separated player get chopped off. And it did not mean that good things were coming for that team later on. So we'll have to wait and see what that does mean for Entity Gaming later on.
Yeah, it's one of these things I talked a bit about yesterday with the 1-3 splits. They're kind of feast or famine. If your lead player, that one player, that solo man, can get out ahead, get the information successfully, find a safe way into a central circle location, get yourselves a nice little compound or a little defensive spot that you like, then absolutely it can work out really well. But if that scout gets killed early on, then a lot of times it throws the teams into disarray and they're not willing to split up anymore to try to get that scouting information, and then they might get caught out as a 3-man or something like that, and or they'll roll into a 4-man squad as a 3 and just get outnumbered. So it makes it challenging for sure.
Now we're just taking a look at some of the teams here that we did have. We were looking at Unique on your screen. They kind of were middle of the pack yesterday. They ended up getting 5 points per round just from placement, but only 5 kills over the entirety of the 2 maps. So not too much action from them. But then you take a look over here at Box Gaming. They were part of a lot of the action yesterday. So definitely picking up a bunch of kills, getting killed themselves a bunch as well. So gonna have to try to straighten that up.
Well, they've got Pubg, which is generally, a lot of people think, one of the best spots on this map, of course. Centrally located, good vehicle spawns available, good loot available. So they've got that going for them on, Miramar here at least. They definitely need to turn it around. Like you said, they saw a lot of action. And in game number 2, they had 5 kills, so they won a team fight. But then the second one didn't quite go their way. And they're looking to turn things around. They've got Elementrix right next to them, who is already kind of making their way south of Pubg. The red cannons on your screen are kind of split up in a 2-2 thing right now. 2 of them are stuck in Los Leones. You can see Maxon's a little bit nervous here. He's out near the western edge of Los Leones there. And the other 2 have made their way up towards La Bendita, so we'll see if the other 2 members of the red cannons can catch up to their teammates.
Yeah, it can be awkward to get stuck there in a big city like that when you know there's going to be at least one other team, normally 2 or 3, that can be with you there. As we're taking a look here at Ben V there for a second, part of VIP. Once again, the total rankings there on the left side. You'll notice that it's very even in the middle. So everybody pretty much has a chance here. C9 yesterday. Looks like they're tied for 7th or 6th there, depending on how you want to look at the point system. Had a pretty average day. They ran into Unique that one time yesterday, if you do remember, on Vikendi, where it got a bit dicey. But overall, I feel like they have a pretty good chance to make it into tomorrow.
They had to be kicking themselves a little bit after that Erangel game, and I wonder if that kind of affected their performance in the Vikendi game. They should have wiped out. Now I'm trying to remember who they ran into there on the north side of the circle. They had a 3v1. They ended up losing in that last situation there. And then they couldn't carry it forward. Unique, it was Unique. You're right. You just mentioned that. Unique. And so then they end up getting, 1v2'd or 1v3'd there. And that kind of slowed down their momentum in the second game. Yeah, they finished in 4th place, but they had 0 kills.
Yeah, it's kind of a hard balance. You can try to go for placements, or you can try to go for kills, or you can just be straight up awesome and do both, like RRQ Athena. That's generally what is going to net you a very good placement. We were kind of joking that RRQ doesn't even really have to show up today because they made it into tomorrow. But of course, they want to get a good placement and show some good games for all the Thai fans out there. Shout out to all you guys watching. As now we're taking a look here at EVOS. They didn't have the, they had a pretty good start. They got 8 points from placement and then 10 kills, but then their Vikendi game was kind of a rough one. They place in the bottom side, only got the 1 point and 0 kills. So kind of a half and half day for them yesterday.
Yeah, a little bit of surprise from one of our other SCA teams, a team from Indonesia. EVOS definitely looking to turn it around. Vikendi was a bit of a struggle for a lot of teams yesterday, as there was quite a bit of teams that survived very late into the game. The circle had a lot of Tovac in it, so quite a few teams set up shop inside of there, and then it just became an absolute nightmare to try to get out of the city once the circle moved away from it, and a couple of teams definitely just weren't able to get much other than a few kill points here or there, but you know, EVOS was not one of those teams. They got no kills, so a struggle. The first round went quite well for them, so I expect them, you know, Miramar tends to play a little bit more like Erangel. Not quite, but it's got longer sight lines for sure, so, you know, if you have a team that has good snipers, you could do well. Maybe Bear from ETG, or EGC, excuse me, could do well. We saw him do a few things with the snipers yesterday, so just kind of keeping our eyes on players, seeing what they're doing. Ooh, ARW.
Might have our first big fight here as Elementrix running straight into our Japanese team here, ARW.
Yeah, ARW 9th place overall right now, so they're right on the bubble. Want to get things going early. Mr. Yozu is trying to put some shots into them, but they are underneath the hill right now, so just a few shots maybe to get them to back off, try and establish themselves is Elementrix, and with this Murado, ARW should be able to safely move forward.
Yeah, you'll notice that they were kind of in the middle of the mountain and they saw the enemy team, but they decided, hey, we're not really ready to take this fight, let's back away. And that's kind of that split-second decision that you do have to make at times, whether or not you do want to go for that fight. So first circle is going to close up here. The second one is going to head towards the north part here, actually.
Yeah, northeast. Now we're moving up towards Minas Generales. And there's a few teams up there. You got Queso once again right in the middle of the circle, so another pretty favorable start for them. Go6 got a pretty decent position. They might want to set up somewhere on the northern side of La Bendita for themselves. ETG, you can see RRQ was making a late rotation. Kind of keep our eyes on them. We're not super concerned about them right now. Yeah. Definitely more interested in what's going on. Whoa! That is a nice play by Futbolista.
Yeah, we didn't see the beginning of that, but the car got blown up, and there were two members in there from Elementrix, so an unfortunate situation for them, but fantastic for Futbolists. They pick up the 2 kills plus the crate, so you'd have to imagine that there was just a bunch of action around that crate, and that's what led to those 2 kills. So a big play going to Futbolists, and again, they didn't have the best time yesterday. Currently in 14th place, so maybe that's that Kickstarter to get them off to a better start here.
Great gear. They're going to be really decked out with that, so nothing they can complain about. And that's a nice camp of that crate. Good job finding a team, you know, getting a little greedy there and making them pay for it. You can see Eagle trying to make that SKS work. Of course, Miramar, sniper-friendly map, and Eagle, nothing really doing there. Gets a few shots at C9. Now we've got Chowski. He is looking at, this is the German team, No Rage, and they are coming across in a van, taking some damage. Those vans are kind of slow. They can take a bunch of damage, but this one's already smoking a bit.
Yeah, and you'll notice that No Rage is going to hop out of the car right now, the van there, and say, okay, you guys have gotten us smoking. We're not willing to take the risk to stick around in that vehicle. But you'll notice that Red Cannons, they're really not scared to take as many shots as possible at any kind of vehicle that is coming their way.
Well, it's smart. This is a really wide open road. If you can set up along the side on the ridges like the Canids have, you have a lot of clear sight lines across teams. And in fact, ARW is rolling up on the backside of this potentially as well. Now, NR has switched out vehicles. They've got a healthy van available because that other one already a little bit on fire. And those things, once they blow up, everybody inside of them dies. So now it looks like they are going to be able to successfully move forward. Cannons make them pay a little bit, force them, you know, 3 into 1 vehicle, which is not ideal.
Yeah, I was just looking at the map here. It's VIP against Futbolists. It looks like down on the bottom side, the two of them going head-to-head in the blue right now. And a couple of vehicles trying to make their way in from the south side of this Miramar map. They're about to butt heads here right on the road, it looks like.
Yeah, Yakuza's got to be careful. He's already taken a bit of damage. He's on that motorcycle, so if he takes any more, he's just able to get over that hill in time. He will go down very, very quick. Then Futbolist right behind them as there's Elementrix up front of them as well. So this could turn into a bit of a cluster on the southern end of the circle.
Bunch of damage taken from all the members there, but I didn't notice any big kills going down. So everybody seemingly going to make it safe into that second circle, but we have a third one coming on in. It's all the way up towards that northwest side. More up towards the Hacienda, it looks like. So gonna be pretty nice for ETG actually here. Entity Gaming, the team, remember that they did take a kill very early on, so they only have 3 members on the team so far, but in a pretty good spot for now.
So ETG's got to be careful because teams that are going to be coming from the southern side of them are going to have the high ground advantage on them coming up on that hill that's between that crossroads position. So yeah, ETG I think might opt to actually move out of here. I think this is quite wise by ETG. That spot that they're on, it's great for camping, great for catching teams in transition, not good for defending.
And that's exactly what they're going to do. They're driving up north right now. It looks like north of the road at least. They're not going to spend too much time as the wheels are spinning there for Max, and he's going to have to hop out.
The wheels on the bus go round.
Yeah.
But don't go anywhere, because now he's going to have to go on foot for a bit, maybe get a pickup from one of his teammates. But that's really dangerous. That's a lot of time lost, and that's exposing yourself. You're giving away your location with the sound of the vehicle, so other teams might try to pounce on that. It doesn't look like Elementrix is really in a great position to do it, so they should be all right. But again, that's lost time, that's lost positioning for the Canids.
Looks like Maxon found a different vehicle to hop in with the help of his teammate there and begin the drive up north once again, as all of these teams are going to be migrating as it does stand. I was taking a look at Elementrix. They lost a couple of their members, but the other 2 of them on foot, just slowly making their way up towards that center. As I mentioned before, I mean, it does feel like these international teams taking a bit slower. They're a bit more cautious compared to our Group A teams.
And they seem to prefer edge play a little bit more. We saw the MENA teams really want to dive center circle early, so that kind of forces a lot of action as well, because there's, locations that are in the middle of these circles that are desirable. So you'll see teams that feel confident in their team fighting ability try to, bounce other teams outside of those locations. Futbolist, they are moving forward up along the eastern edge towards the junkyard, and there is No Rage getting a little bit of damage down in. And the Red Canids, like I was talking about, this is what kind of stinks when you have to go back and pick up a teammate.
Yeah.
You might get caught out yourselves.
Got to be careful about that, especially when you're up against No Rage, a team that really has nothing to lose. I mean, they're going to be taking shots at everybody. They are in 16th place. They got 1 kill yesterday. So it's really just about shooting at anything that moves right now for No Rage. And you got to be careful when you're going up against a team like that, as No Rage are going to be making their way in alongside Futbolist into this third circle.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to see No Rage be really aggressive. They need the points desperately. You want to play your game, but at the same time, when you're this far behind, you only have 2 more games to catch up. You got to get kills and you got to get placement points, and you're so far behind. 3 points. 3 points. That's not good.
Well, you set the benchmark as around 36 points if you did want to make it into day 3, into that final day. So it is possible that this team could pick up more than 30 points today. It's not going to be easy, but we have seen teams do it yesterday. So we are taking a look here now at Unique coming in at the top right side of this circle.
And there's Jonathan, a player that Jason really, really likes. Only had 1 kill yesterday, and he's the star for the ETG team. So we're looking to see him kind of get it going for Entity Gaming a bit. ARW tried to get into the compound that ETG is in. They were stopped short here between Crossfire from ETG and EDG. That's a lot to say. A lot of E's and G's in there.
Yeah.
And so they got, you see here, they had to go for the res. They have to stop up. Now they're in a tricky spot because they're out in the middle of a field. Yes, they have a compound, but once it moves away from them, it gets really, really tricky to move outside of there. You don't got much cover to work with. You got a bit of a hill in front of you towards the south. And Evos, if they can get the angle down onto VIP may be very much in trouble.
Looks like they're taking some shots, though, from a different angle. From EGC, I believe, our Korean team, just looking at the minimap here. So they want to shell down onto VIP, but they can't quite stand up and have free reign to do it just yet. So a little bit of an awkward position, still going to be decent for them as they can kind of just hang out there for now.
Yeah, C9 and Box are in a firefight. Meanwhile, on the southwestern part of things, there you can see it right there. C9 taking a bunch of damage. Box is putting the hurt onto them. Evos as well getting into this from long range. So right now, C9 caught very much so. 2 of their members already knocked Lewis here out of frag grenades, it looks like. So he is just trying to see if he can get some shots down. They have found a lip to work with, has C9. So let's see if they can get these revives going.
They're going to get a couple going here, and Box, you'll notice that partially because of the way the map works, you don't want to just charge across this open area, especially with Zute still left available and looking and trying to guard there and provide that cover fire. As, ooh, okay, get your cameras out, guys. We got two views going on right now. The fight between Box and C9, as well as Evos and VIP.
There are smokes here for C9, so they've got some cover from Box for now. Just putting some sprays down, trying to keep Box boxed out, because right now C9 does have the circle advantage. Haha, thanks.
Yeah.
So C9, they're on the edge of the circle here, so they can keep Box on the edge. They're trying to just keep them pinned down with this fire. Pyrrha's just going to come up, spray over. Oh, but a nice timing by Guh is going to get one of them. Lewis heals up uneven, still trying to put some shots in. Guh does take a little bit more damage here, and up and over is Lewis. He's going to get some shots. The blue is here now. Lewis might not be able to heal in time. No, indeed, he does go down.
What an insanely close fight there, but you called it early on. C9 had the better positioning there inside the circle. They are going to massacre that entire squad and get a nice little position there at the southwest of the circle. Good for them, able to pick off the first squad here actually on Miramar.
Yeah, now VIP is in a similar situation, maybe even a little worse than what Box is in. Evos has a significant high ground advantage. They're in the circle, they're taking damage. They're trying to pump, block out, get some more damage. Here comes Evos. They're just going to flank around and try to finish this. Yes, indeed, they will do it. Down goes VIP.
Yeah, and I mean, they had a fantastic position there right above VIP. Casey does get knocked. I didn't quite see where that was from, but it looks like our Korean team is making a move now. We talked about this before as well. They had eyes on Evos the entire time. The Korean team, not necessarily known for being extremely aggressive, but very opportunistic. They're going to make their move when they can, and already a knock coming in.
Yeah, they've got the high ground. The problem is C9 has an angle onto the side of this hill. So, yes, they can try to come over and put some hurt into Evos, but you can see Zute, the other member of the C9, realize something similar. Now, that circle is going to funnel things in nicely for Bear with that AUG. He's going to get the first knock. And now there are 2 more members in the blue for Evos. They are going down very quickly. This may well be the end for Evos.
Look at the pot shots coming out here from Zute. Not a care in the world, just sitting out in the open on Miramar, just picking them off. And he's going to be feeling really good about that one, as now things are getting really dicey here in this little compound with the containers. You got to be careful when you do come in, and the smokes are coming out as well.
There are so many teams here. No Rage does go down in the background. Gosik has the warehouse, but that warehouse is quite exposed from the western angle. And you've also got a bunch of other teams popping in here. EGC has pushed forward now. They're going to try to outflank the other teams, just try to get ahead of them. But there's a lot of other teams up in these compounds. I'm not sure what they're going to do here. Satan goes down right away. B-Side has to lay down for himself. He might be dead to rights too. And here comes RRQ from out of nowhere.
You got to be really careful making that aggressive of a move when there are this many teams left available on this phase. RRQ just sitting here picking up the money and the kills. 3 kills so far. As C9, they've seen a lot of action here. They're going head-to-head with Top Esports now.
Yeah, Top Esports needs to turn it around right now. They've just got to res off one other member down. Grenades up and over. RRQ is decimating some teams on the side of all of this. Top Esports is very, very beat up, and once again, Cloud9 has a pretty good position on them. Now, Top Esports is in the circle, so they might be okay for a bit, but let's see how aggressive Cloud9 wants to get. Beowulf trying to get up and over, seeing if he can get information on those other teams. But look at this, RRQ Athena, so good, so patient, so disciplined, waiting to strike, and now they have great position on the western edge.
Yeah, it really is about that position as well. They have that hill for cover towards the south side of the road, as you can see here. G9 just using that to get pot shots down onto Top Esports. They're not really caring too much about anyone to the left side. And now they're taking a bunch of damage here. C9 and as G9 going to take out a couple of them.
Yeah, some great shooting there from G9. Absolutely putting some nails into C9. They are 2 down now, and they are trying to find a way in. And, ooh, look at Queso's getting some crossfire from Beowulf. Beowulf trying to get some points. Ooh, over on the right, I believe that was Marco who put some shots in him. Beowulf doing a good job putting some pressure onto Queso, getting some decent shots in there. But Queso is going to try to get in this buggy and get out. That is super dangerous. I don't know if this is going to work. There is smoke there for them to use as cover. Beowulf is able to secure that kill onto Marco. So good job. The cannons are coming up behind this. Oh my gosh, is this actually going to work?
Elia, it's just like, I'm out of here, boys. See you later.
Well, he's got the tractor. He's got a prone down. The real question is does anyone have an angle on him? He's trying to put some shots into that to keep people off of him. He's going to be able to use that tractor tire. Nope, never mind. Unique's got him. Yasha's going to finish him off.
Kind of a hilarious state of affairs there for that player Ayala. Just doing what he could. Knew that it was just desperation time, and I don't think they got too many kills on top of that, so Team Queso got to be careful. RRQ, I feel like, you know, they just have a better understanding of the map, and they've been using their positions so well. No team has even come close to trying to challenge them at all with where they're sitting, and I can't see any of these teams that are on the map right now that can do anything to charge in there.
No, they were so patient, and I bet they were pretty surprised to find this part of the map unoccupied. They basically control a quarter of this map until this new circle came. Before that, they controlled so much because of this lip that rings all the way around the side of the road here, and they're just able to pop up and take shots at people and get back to safety very, very easily. And that is going to continue to benefit them for a little while longer. Circle is still on top of them, so you can see them. Senior's got that M24 there, just seeing if he can find any heads to pop. We saw him be very, very good, and there is a crate up in front of them. That one is not going to be easy to get. That's probably going to be a crate that's just going to turn into cover later game and benefit possibly RRQ Athena, depending on which way this circle goes.
Yeah, RRQ Athena is kind of just chilling for now. The real question is, which one of these other teams is going to be in a good position? ETG, they took the first casualty, but they've been good on top of that circle the entire time, getting pretty lucky with where those circles are going.
And once again, Top Esports goes out. A better placement for them, but not many kills. So this is going to be a really difficult final game for them. They are really going to need to put up a ton of points. Senior moving forward. G9's already got a bit of a position. Senior's taking a bit of damage, and he is going to get knocked by Goskilla. Nikola with some pretty good shooting up on the hill. He's got the other members with him. Kitsune there. They've got to be real careful behind that van. A good grenade could spell disaster for the three of them.
ETG just hanging out here in the little cabin in the desert, it looks like there, and they really have not moved much. They've just been happy to sit around. Take a look at all rejection coming in here. Nearly said something else as Clinton may have yesterday.
No, I don't know what you're talking about. All right, now Goskilla's in trouble. They got to cross the road, and they have no cover. They don't have any smokes. Ooh, ETG. Somebody's going to get knocked. It's Ernie. Here comes the grenade from D2E. It's not going to get anybody, it looks like. Ernie is right by Uber. Uber, is he going to go up and try to get the kill, or is he just trying to go for placement points here? I think he might be going for placements. I don't think Ernie saw him. Ernie wasn't able to look up and over in the truck. Now RRQ is going to push through. Is Uber going to be the thorn in the side here for RRQ? No, he's just going to wait. He's not even interested in this. RRQ just absolutely demolishes ETG.
I love Uber's play. He's found the one spot on this map where he can stay hidden for the rest of it. He's going to let RRQ and Unique go head-to-head, and we'll see him at the end of this match.
I think this is actually going to work out for him pretty well. Ernie somehow didn't see him in there. Now Ernie's behind this rock. Ernie takes some damage, isn't able to get the spray. He's going to get knocked, so that's the first one down for RRQ. A good little push from Unique, but now they're on top of a hill. And this is D2E. Some grenades coming through from Unique. D2E's trying to cover the right-hand side. Senior on the left. Is that a frag there? If it is, it bounced a bit too far. Indeed, it did. That Molotov is keeping D2E stuck inside. Some sprays coming through, nothing really landing. So Unique, doesn't look like they have any smoke, so this is almost impossible going downhill without anything in front of them. Now should be Uber's time to strike. He should right now be really thinking about getting up and trying to win this game.
He's going to be waiting until that last second, though. He is looking now. They have no idea that he's here.
He's got to take D2E. He had him dead to rights here. Or Senior, I don't care which, he's got to shoot. He needs to take one of them out.
Yeah, I mean, even just that extra kill is going to be the extra point that could push them over the edge into the final day. So you don't only want to get that position. You want to also pick up a couple of kills if possible, but he's playing it as passively as humanly possible.
Yeah, so there were some smokes left for Unique. They didn't throw them out right away. They decided to wait. They lost a member because of it. Now Senior trying to get the angle. D2E as well as flanking. Uber, you gotta go, man. Oh, Rogue. Rogue with a nice out duel there onto D2E. So that's pretty nice for Unique. Now they gotta worry about Senior. Senior sneaking up beside them. Let's see if Yasha or Rogue can see him. He's got that M4 ready to go and is trying to box him in. I don't know. Did Uber just die to the circle? Uber, I don't know what's going on there.
Senior took them both out, and Uber, who knows what happened to him? He kind of just disappeared. That's third place for them. 0 kills for ARW. But first place going to RRQ. They got a bunch of kills yesterday, but this time finally picking up that first place position.
Like we said, they didn't even need to show up in this lobby to make it through to the finals. Instead, they are just going to pull off another huge win. 13 kills in that game. They look unstoppable right now, Jason.
They look fantastic, and I do want to touch on one thing, though, about Uber there, as we did see. So you guys were talking about how, he needs to take a shot, he needs to go for a kill, right? I think his mindset was, if I survive till second place, I get 4 points. If I kill one of them and die, we only get 1 point off of that, right? So I think in his head, he was looking to survive, but at the same time, he died to the zone, and I don't know. I don't know how that happened, right? I mean, it throws all logic out the window, unfortunately for him. But yeah, RRQ Athena, they got second place twice yesterday, able to pull off the chicken dinner here, lengthening their lead even further. I am worried, though, for them. Are they maybe peaking a little bit too early in the tournament? They still have 5 matches to play tomorrow. You're giving me a little bit of a smile there, Valdez. What's up?
I mean, they're just so dominant compared to any other team here in the international squad, or rather group, and I don't think that any other team on the other side of the bracket can really challenge them. So the fact that they are dominating this hard already means that they've got to be our favorite going into tomorrow already.
I do want to talk. Oh, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Okay, because I want to switch topics.
No, you talk. I don't want to talk.
You guys, true. You guys were talking the entire time. One team I do want to talk about is Cloud9. I feel like they, since Zone 4, I think I have it written down, they were under fire. They had Box in front of them. They had Evos around them. They had Top Esports near them as well. I think even RRQ took a couple of shots at them at the same time.
Yeah.
And since that moment, they did not get a second to breathe, and they were consistently fighting. They ended up dying around Zone 6. I feel kind of bad for them. They had themselves in that position where they just could not. They had to fight their way out. But really?
He was trying to heal up. Why didn't he just? They had no idea he was there.
Yeah. So then he should have taken the shot. He should have gotten the kill.
Was not going to take a shot at him.
Well, even if you don't take the shot, you got to get out of that truck and try to make it work. I mean, you should take the shot because you need to be aggressive here and get points. You're one of the teams that's on the bubble. Anyway,
you shouldn't be losing, though. In terms of, you shouldn't be dying there. You should know how to be able to keep yourself healed off. But yeah, Cloud9, they didn't have a second to breathe. It was really unfortunate for them. Go Skilla. That was a team I was surprised to get knocked out so early. They had center zone for such a long time. They had them and ETG near each other, but they had the claiming of the land of the warehouse they were in, the compound. So ETG moved north up against All Rejection Gaming, and they fought them instead, which obviously Uber was the only one to survive from that one. But I'm kind of curious, they had the warehouse, they had the compound. I don't know how they lost the fight on so many different fronts. I know they had one player pushed out to a shed kind of by himself. He got knocked early on, so they're immediately down to 3 players. But I thought that was their game to win.
I think they were trying to repeat what they did yesterday, getting that one last member somewhere in late. But like I talked about kind of early on in that match, that compound they were in, that warehouse that's on the crossroads, is very difficult to defend. It's very exposed from the west. A lot of teams are going to have the high ground on you from the south, and then a bunch of teams are going to want to push into that location from the south because the circle kept going north.
Right.
So you're getting tons of teams funneled in there, and it's so hard to win those team fights. That's why I loved what ETG did. They left that compound, or I think it was around 3rd circle, when they're like, ooh, this is now not the best position in the center of this circle. And if it weren't for the fact that they got busted by RRQ, who just ran in there and wiped them out, they could have had a real good shot to win this. I felt like that should have been ETG's game.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, it wasn't ETG's game, but it was a good game nonetheless. And that's something that they've been struggling with over the course of this last day. And, you know, you talked about it, Jonathan. Yeah, well, you know, he struggled. Neo getting knocked right away and then ran over. At least Amon and Gatak were able to survive for a long time and get some points on the board, because that's the name of the game right now, right? Don't worry about winning a chicken dinner. Obviously, it helps. Don't worry about that. Worry about just placing points and trying to get some kills. Try to get into the top 8. You don't need to be first to move through into the finals. Seeding does not matter at all. So, in the end, RRQ Athena finally getting their first victory, and they're looking happy about it.
They just look really comfortable right now. Just arms crossed, leaning back in the chair. They know that they've already secured a spot into tomorrow. They're just playing for fun now. And even when they're playing very relaxed, maybe that's helping them to even get to the top of the ladder here, because they're dominating big time, whereas everybody else is struggling to get those spots. Go Skilla. We'll see if they can pick it up here a little bit.
I'm gonna go back to RRQ one more time really quickly.
Yeah.
Every team that's in the top 8 right now should be happy that they won, because that means those points weren't going to the teams in 9 through 16 plays. That 20-point chicken dinner does not go to any of them, so they kind of retain their spot a little bit further. It's the teams 9 through 16 plays that should be frustrated about that, because they need the help. Actually, technically, they should be happy about it as well, because then no one else moves super far away from them. So
everybody's happy.
Yeah, I mean, and definitely RRQ Athena off the back of that. I'm actually curious to see how all the points did break down from that last game. So how many kills did you see RRQ Athena got?
13.
13, so 33 points off of that one. They were at the start of the day, 46. Jeez. So that moves them up to 79.
Oh my god!
If I can do my math correctly.
They might break 100 points in 4 games. That's absolutely fantastic PUBG Mobile play.
It really is. And we also have another map coming up. It's going to be a brawl. I was trying to rhyme it, but I realized that it wasn't going to work halfway through trying to say it. It's going to be the brawl. And it's going to be in the Moisty map of Sandhawk, and obviously close quarter combat, a lot of that happening. I don't know who's going to win that one. Maybe RRQ Athena is going to be able to battle out yet again. We talked about, you know, Entity can be aggressive, can pick up kills, can communicate clearly. We haven't seen that, unfortunately, out of them. Top Esports, they had a better game than they've had previously, but I say better with a grain of salt, because it really wasn't that great of a game for them in the end. Someone's got to step up if you're outside the top 8 right now. This is your chance, as you guys mentioned, with no rage. You got to go in all guns blazing.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just seeing so many of these teams that should be playing aggressively, trying to get points, not doing that. I mean, we saw ARW do it at the end there. I thought Top Esports, there was a couple times where I was watching them, I'm like, push, you got to go, you got to do something. Because if you don't push now, you're going to be stuck in a really difficult position. Teams are going to have angles on you. You're going to get stuck in crossfires. They weren't doing it. And, you know, C9 got stuck in a similar situation where they got trapped in that hill, and they were just in crossfires like you were talking about from team and team. They did a great job holding box out. But eventually, you know, that position did fall apart. Beowulf was able to get ahead for them, pick up a few more points. So I think they have a pretty good shot here going into Sanhok of advancing. But they need to do something a little bit more, I think, on Sanhok to guarantee a spot.
So we're talking about 9 through 16th, right? We're talking about how they need to make a play happen. If you're in 1st through 8, well, maybe not 1st since you're so far ahead. If you're one of the teams on the verge of potentially dropping down 9 through 16, then do you play extra safe and just focus on placements, trying to get to the later circles, or do you try to do something a little bit tricky and catch other teams off guard? Because you have to worry about maintaining that top 8 place.
I mean, we've seen that this international group has overall played more passively, and if I'm them, I just try not to get knocked out early, because just the way the game is going to go anyway, the longer you survive, the more chance you have to get more kills because you're alive for longer. So if I'm them, personally, I would just say, let's just try to survive until one of those later circles, maybe pick a couple of kills up along the way. If we can get even 10 points per round, that should be enough to get us into the last day.
And I kind of wonder, if you're RRQ Athena, are you thinking about hot dropping somebody or setting up a trap for another team that you don't want to see in the finals? Maybe you're going to try to force Top Esports out. You're just going to say, no, we don't want to see these guys in the finals. You know, we feel like they're our #1 threat. Or another team that has drop locations that are similar to them, are they just going to go for that? I think that's a viable strategy here for them.
I do actually wonder. Like, the thing is, like you guys said, they didn't even need to show up today. I think they kind of technically did to not get like kicked out of the tournament. But they don't need to play, right? They don't really need to do too much. So they could have fun with this. Though I don't know if they're going to be a team to necessarily do that. I don't know. I feel like we haven't seen that too often. I know during PMCO, Bigatron was so far ahead of every other team, and they didn't really try anything crazy. Like, they didn't bother to spoil anyone's day.
I'd agree with Paper Thin. I think you just hot drop Top Esports. Like, honestly,
yes, let's do it.
This team, you know, they're obviously really good. They're just not having a great tournament, and the only way that Top Esports makes it into the final day is if they have a massive Game 4 on Sanhok. And the best way to try to affect that is to, you know, get in their face and take them out. Unless you're just really confident that you can make it into the final circles and win a straight-up match against them if they make it there anyway. But, I don't know, I like the idea of just getting in their face. That would be the one team for me where I just say, no, I don't want, you know, everybody else here doesn't really have that same kind of a resume that RRQ, Athena, and Top Esports do have.
And the funniest thing is like, during PMCO, they were so bad. I mean, I'm sorry if you're a fan of that, but I mean, you have to agree. Day 1 and 2, they were non-existent. Day 3, they showed up in a big way. So don't get me wrong, they definitely earned, I think it was their 7th place position they did get, but they were just not there. And then to come into this tournament to brush that off after failing for one of the biggest tournaments of the year and then be able to fight back just like this, it's phenomenal out of them. But you know what? It's time to get Sanhok under the way. Paper Thin and Valdez, hit it with us one more time.
The final round before the grand finals for Group B. It's going to be our jungle map. Sanhok, plane path, once again, a bit brutal. I mean, on Sanhok, it doesn't matter as much, but we're pretty west. But Sanhok is pretty small, so
no
big problems there. And you can see the plane path coming there. Starting out pretty much dead center and then heading right over Camp Alpha. So a few teams, if you're going up to Paradise Camp Bravo, you got a way to go, but you know, with Sanhok, you could pretty much get just about anywhere you need to from just about any plane path.
Yeah, and that is what they are going to do. I'm taking a look at this map, and Kisker from Top Esports has been all over the place. I think that's just a little bit glitchy. Probably just hanging around with this team there towards the center of the map for now. As Circle, very much in the northwest again here.
Yeah, could be the Northwest Island, could be a Camp Alpha type finish. We'll see if that is indeed where the circle goes. Still plenty of other land for it to go. So this is a tricky situation. If you're one of these teams, are you going to try to go for that area where the 3 rivers meet together to the west of to boot camp? There's a pretty good spot there if you want to try to pick up some kills and camp some other teams because of the nature of this circle. I'm kind of serious. I can see Kicksker from Top Esports might be thinking about doing something similar like that because he's split out pretty far from the rest of his team. And of course, here's boot camp. A lot of times you'll see teams fight over this. This is a very valued location. Tons of loot available and pretty decent spot to rotate out of if you need to. And just going to keep our eyes as Evos and No Rage might be brawling. Potentially you don't have to, though. There's enough room for 2 teams in here.
They're very much keeping their distance for now, it does look like, as right here we do see ETG just hanging around, looting up as much as they possibly can. The only team to drop down here, as they're just taking it pretty slow. As well, we already got a bit of action here on the smaller map, as Loki has found the rest of Ghostskilla.
Oh boy, he is in a lot of trouble. Ghostskilla sending 2 members down to flank him. Aldik is looking to see if he can just Loki forced left. Now Ghostskilla needs somebody on the right, but Loki able to successfully dodge that for now, but no, it is not enough. Aldik is able to get him with the AK. That is going to be the first knock and most likely the first kill of the match.
He was all by himself. That's we talk about this all the time. If you are going to go for that 1-3 split and take the risk, you are sometimes going to be punished for it, as the rest of Box nowhere near him, it looks like, on the map, as they are a bit far north. So going to be down there from behind, and now Gug gets knocked down as well by one of the members of C9. I believe that was Beowulf, is going to pick up the kill. So now that's 2 members of Box, and they're already going to get chopped down. Not looking good for them here in this tournament.
Yeah, they were in the bottom half going into today, and they didn't have a great Miramar, so this could be the end of the day for them. We will see. Futbolist just looting up, not much going up there. In Hatin, they've got it all to themselves, so for now they can just loot up. They're still in the circle. They've got enough time to kind of get all the gear they want and then eventually decide where they want to rotate. Now, generally a lot of teams are going to want to rotate early, but we'll see. Evos has taken up that position I was talking about at the intersection of the three rivers. I'm really curious to see how that pans out for them. It's, I think, going to be a powerful spot as time goes on in this circle, but there's a lot of time and a lot of room to maneuver here as the first one is starting to make its way in, and for now, there isn't too much going on. You've got EGC, the Korean team, down in the south. They were at Bantai. They're gonna have quite a bit of room to work with near the ruins, potentially, depending on what RRQ does. They were our Painan team. And the Red Cannons were over at Kampong, and they're making a rotation more towards the cave, it looks like, or potentially docks if they want to grab a boat. I'm not too sure what their strategy is going to be.
We're taking a look here at Top Esports. They were quite split apart, as they do like to play a more split style, usually 1-3, but this time around very much in multiple different locations for the team, and Hope, as you guys can see, did get chopped away from this team. So already Top Esports, not the best start here for this team, as it's only going to be 3 members left for them in their last chance to make it to the last day.
Yeah, the top of the mountain there is a great spot just to the east of Camp Alpha, but they only have 2 members up there. Their third, Lava, is way down by Painan still, so getting him grouped up with them is going to be extremely difficult at this point. Too many teams have already rotated over to this northwest island. Uh-oh, Box might be in some serious trouble now. They've got No Rage up on the coast waiting with open arms.
Yeah.
They want this kill.
I don't know what happened to Box, but it's just been dire straits for them since second one on Sandhawk, as they're getting caught out in the water now. A kill is going to go down over to Helios. I think there's only 1 member left of that entire team, so not the best round for them, and based on their placements from yesterday, 11th place, not the best start. As C9, the action never seems to end for this team.
Yeah, they're finding it. They're finding it today. The fights are coming to them, and they're doing a pretty good job getting the first knock on Gonzo, the hero for Goskilla yesterday on Erangel. Here come the other members of C9. Love this. Get aggressive. Great flank here by Zute. He is going to get Nicola down. Here comes the return fire, though. That is going to be 1 knock here, as there is only 1 member of Goskilla left.
And that's going to be it. The first team to go down here is not Box. It's actually Goskilla, as C9 make quick work of the team. They found the angles. They had the hill. They get the first couple of knocks, and they get 4 kills total. That is a massive start here for C9.
Yeah, a pretty good start, and gives them a really good shot of coming through into the grand finals. And, of course, those points reset. So all you really want to do is get in there. Top Esports feels like they need a win to really secure themselves that spot. We don't have the updated scores just yet. Trying to get those into our hands. And, oh, there's a kill there for Eagle. He's got the knock. Is he going to be able to finish Old Boy off? Let's see if he can come around the corner and do this. Looks like he should be able to successfully do this with that barrel, but some return fire from Rogue is backing him off. He's going to get knocked himself. Really nice play here by Unique to keep their team member alive, completely dashing the hopes of Top Esports.
You can see that Kisker, he got a little, or rather Eagle, he was getting a little bit too frisky. You can't really just run out into the open and try to force a kill. I understand the desperation for the team right now, but that's going to cost them potentially this entire fight and the entire match here, potentially, as it's only Kisker behind this rock.
Oh boy.
As Evos are quickly closing in.
Yeah, Evos, I don't think has any clue that he's here. Here comes some frag grenades from Unique now. Fresh off that revive onto Old Boy, they're going to try to defend the top of this hill. Again, this is the most valuable real estate inside of this circle right now, so everybody wants to gain control of this, give themselves those kills and those points that can come with maintaining your ability to really watch over all of the other teams from up here. So Old Boy is coming on up. He's trying to push through. Unique, I think they need to spread out a little bit. Evos has a pretty nice, solid defensive position, and we'll see if Kicksker can really maybe pick up a few kills for himself, but I think he's probably just going to try to wait this one out. I don't expect him to really expose himself. It's more about placement points. Getting those 20 or 14 for second or first is going to be really valuable.
For him, he's just trying not to make any noises right now. He doesn't want to give his position away. He's not going to move. And especially with Evo so close nearby, he is just going to sit down, you know, perhaps grab his phone, play some PUBG while he's waiting. That's something you guys can do. Yeah,
that's illegal. That's against tournament rules. You can't do that, Valdez.
I'm saying the player in the game, you know, that little. Oh, that was a really sick grenade. Right on top of Zute. They found him. Not sure why he was in there.
He hasn't moved since that battle with Ghostskilla. He's still up here, and now he's going to pay the price for it. Spent too long up there. And then Waztu is going to finish him off. The other members of C9 getting out of Dodge, heading towards the bridge. Not sure if they're opting for a bridge camp or if they just like the rotation along the coast. It's a pretty safe rotation there. You've got, you know, enough height from the hills next to you that you can safely move along there for the most part. As long as there are no teams on the East Coast, and you wouldn't really expect there to be, because most of the teams have already made their way to the Northwest Island.
Yeah, for C9, you picked up 5 kills, and you only have 2 members left. So we know what's going to be on the cards for them. Just try to hide and survive. They don't want to get taken out here before 10th place. They want to try to rack up some more points to secure a spot into that last day. But take a look at this. Shots onto those 2 members, desperately trying to get away. And they just want to survive, as Footballist had a nice little angle here, but they will be forced to back away for now.
Not exactly sure what C9 was thinking here. This is a bit of an over-rotation. 2 members down now. Pira very hurt. Beowulf a little bit banged up himself. This was a little bit too much. The circle is looking like it's going to go onto that Northwest Island. Still got a bit of the ruins down in the south hanging out in it. Otherwise, this one almost assuredly going to end up there in the northern part by Camp Alpha. So here we go. AR, you need to get some kills. Good spray there from Mateo. That is going to be a kill onto Lovezin.
Well, he's sitting there with the M4, and, well, there's just a member right in front of him just running on by. What else are you going to do? Going to make that kill look so simple. And maybe, honestly, it was based on that position.
Maybe Uber should take a play from his playbook there. Oh, man. Yeah. Mateo doing a good job here as the front man for ARW, leading the way in there. Slow 1-3 split. The other members are just trying to swim across and get their way over to Hatin as well. And Mateo doing a good job establishing the beachhead for them.
I'm just going to throw down some smokes. There's no rush to try to get on in there and make a big move into the circle right now. As we are once again looking at Cloud9, they are just, you know, hanging out there. They're not really trying to find too much action. You talked about the over-rotation. They just like to avoid anybody on the map right now. And they're sticking way back there. Taking a look at Trote from EGC, Easy Game Chicken.
I do like that name.
From Korea. They're good with their names. They like their wordplay.
They really do. And Easy Game is a very popular saying in Korea, and that's kind of a way to taunt your opponents just a little bit, to say, yeah, this was not hard for us. We got the win, no problem. Team Queso looking pretty strong. They had a lot of points coming into today, and you know, nobody really did a whole lot on that last game except for, of course, RRQ was absolutely gangbusters. Everyone else was kind of middle of the road there, so that's pretty good news for Queso. They should be pretty well into the grand finals, I feel like, and they're just making their way across the southern part near to the south of Painan right now. They're going to be taking those pickup trucks along the road there and looking to come into the south of the ruins, but down there is EGC and the Red Cannons, who have found each other just north of Na Kham.
Just hanging out for now. We are going to have to see if Red Cannons do make a move just yet. They have 1 guy on a bike, 3 in a car. Just thinking about it, but not going to do it just yet. Going to hang out by the rocks. As Spare slowly making his way in on that motorcycle. Wants to do the scouting for his team and see exactly where Red Cannons are setting up on this compound. Looking for a grenade at the same time, trying to find the car. He nearly, well, a little bit far away to really make that effective, but I like the idea at least.
Yeah, it's a good idea, but that was a bit of a prayer there. He was a little bit behind it with the leading of the grenade there as well, but he's going to try another one. This one is pretty far. See if he can catch a member of Red Cannon outside with it. Doesn't look like he's going to get anything going there. And they are going to heal up. Datowski, he was the front man for the Cannons here, establishing this position. Now he's in the corner of that wall, trying to just play some defense against EGC. EGC, they don't have to go yet, but they've got Team Queso coming up on their heels, and this is kind of what happens in PUBG. If you kind of buy some time, you think you're safe down here, but then another team is just going to roll up behind you, especially on Sandhawk with all, just about all the teams left.
Yeah, I got to be careful about that. We were taking a look at RRQ versus No Rage, our first place team versus our 16th place team. It looked like for the moment, RRQ just setting up shop there at the triangle, the meeting place of the rivers. But for now, they are going to just move on in on that motorcycle. Looks like one of the guys just moving on into the middle of the circle. Team Queso taking it very slowly. They had a good start yesterday, and they just want to cruise on in to tomorrow. That's really all they're trying to do here, so not really looking for too much action. But as I say that, how about a just easily set up kill there as Beside is probably beside himself. Did not expect Team Queso to be right behind him.
Yeah, and this is where this too patient play, when you're just not aggressive enough, it starts to hurt you. It starts to kick you in the butt. Unique and Footballist are in a fight. Unique is getting devastated up there. ETG and Evos were starting to dust it up too. And here you can see 2 members of Unique down. Tron down for Footballist. He's got on top of that hill. And then they tried to rotate all the way around to Camp Alpha, thinking this would be a fairly safe rotation, but Football East was just a little bit ahead of them. They came out of Hatin and came right over here to the west coast. A nice rotation by them. The smokes are coming down from Old Boy, going to try to get these revives up, and it looks like they are indeed going to be able to get to Kitsune just in time.
Yeah, I only see Zessie over there for Footballists, so going much better for Unique. The 2 teams finally truly butting heads there, and it does go the way of the team that was in a better spot here in the standings so far. Taking another look at ETG, Eternity Gaming, or rather Entity Gaming. They are once again set up in a pretty good spot in the center of the circle, just trying to defend, but it's not going to feel too good when you have RRQ standing right outside.
Yeah, once again, it's RRQ who's going to be fighting ETG, and they last time absolutely devastated them, not even really losing much in the process. And here we go. Here we go. Amon ready around that corner with that Uzi. See if he can get it through, but Ernie pretty well aware something's going on, trying to cook a grenade. Did that get inside? I cannot tell. Yes, it did! Ernie with a very nicely cooked grenade, and Amon not able to get out in time. He is going to go down for ETG.
He was all alone there in the house, and, well, if you're going up against grenades, you got to be ready to hop out of that house right away, but he was surrounded by RRQ, and you'll notice that Entity Gaming are not really trying to make any big plays to get in there and try to fight them off. They're just going to take the death and go along with that one. As now we're taking a look at, well, the scoreboard. The rest of Entity Gaming is getting chopped down as we speak. An easy game chicken in a fight here up against VIP.
All right, Trote is down and knocked. He is pretty well in trouble. Satan, or Satan, whatever you want to say, is coming around. There is the spray with the AK, is only able to get a little bit of damage with that peek. He's unable to get the return shot there. Now he's going to try to cook a grenade. They got to be aggressive. VIP needs to get ahead of this grenade, because if Satan can get this through, he just throws it in front of him. It's just too early. He's going to get caught and dusted by VIP. So that is another member down for EGC.
And, well, there's one player left for ETC that I can see. It's Bear, and he is taking a long swim underneath this bridge. He does not want to get involved with any of the killing for now. He's a pacifist, and he just wants to survive. Is all alone here. There's still 15 squads left available. So, once again, going to take a look at Team Queso, who have been very much playing an outside game so far, just hanging around the south side and still around there for now, just hanging around the dock.
Yeah, this is going to be quite fascinating if this can pay off for Queso. They've got the Canids up ahead of them on the coast of the Northwest Island. Bear is in not a terrible spot if no one finds him underneath that bridge. The circle is actually brutal right now. A bunch of teams are going to find themselves outside of this. And you know, the good news here for Elementrix, they're dead middle and they've still got 4 members alive, but can they defend it? Because they've got RRQ up on the northeast, and so far today, no one has been able to stop the the unstoppable force that is RRQ, and there's Entity Gaming. They are going to be wiped out on the back end. A very, very disappointing finish. I don't think they accumulated enough points today to make it to the grand finals.
Doesn't feel like it. They came into today in 13th place, and they had a decent start here on Miramar, but not quite enough to push them along the midline there for their group. So now we're taking a look at Elementrix versus C9, and already Pubg getting that one knock onto Beowulf, going to be finished off by Junior. And I don't see anyone else here from C9, so it looks like he was left to dead.
Yeah, it's just Pyrrha on the back on the north side of the circle. Unique is starting to roll up towards him, and he might have a bit of a fight of his hand. Evos trying to get through the buzzsaw of RRQ. They've got No Rage behind them. The last member of Top Esports is up there as well. Here you go. ARW has spent, I think, more time in the water than on the land in this game. A lot of teams opting to kind of play the sea lions here, going out into the ocean and the rivers, trying to make that strategy work, as there is still quite a bit of water left inside of this circle. Now, this is going to be a pivotal moment here for a bunch of these teams. Can you break through this wall?
That is the question. Evo's not in the best position. They have members on their left. They got members on their right. And they've got to make a move here soon to make it into the circle. Team Queso kind of hilariously swimming around, as are ARW, but Levinsky is going to pick up one for now, as Crazy Gory also hanging around here in the water. Looks like he is going to stay alive for now. Finally does get knocked, or rather he does first aid up, but the rest of his teammates down by the water. He's not going to get too much help from them.
Well, Lapis is still out in the water, so he's still alive for them. Evos is able to take on No Rage, wipe them out, so that is going to be the end of No Rage, and surely they are going to be out of this tournament. I can't imagine they have anywhere enough points to make it through to the grand finals. And here's RRQ, still up on the high ground. A res coming through for Evos. Will they be able to get into this circle? RRQ is just trying to box them out as much as they can. Unique here, trying to see if they can get through. Pyrrha, the last surviving member of Cloud9, wanting to eke out any more points that he can. There's still 12 teams alive, so you're only getting 1 point for the placement finish. That grenade bounces off the front, just impacts on the surface, so nothing doing in that one. Unique's got to get those grenades in there. That could be a pretty easy pickup if they're able to find that grenade.
Heikel here not in the best spot. He's just trying to keep quiet as all of Team Queso is running ahead of him. He is going to throw a nade out here without cooking it much. Kind of an interesting decision. We'll see if he catches Team Queso off guard, as it doesn't look like it. Lapis goes down. He was the last member of ARW to stay alive here for his team. Finally gets taken out in 12th place. So the Sea Lion strategy not working out for our Japanese team.
Yeah, all right, Axial has got the high ground position. It's got taken a bunch of blue damage. This circle starts to hurt. That is going to be Psy going down. A bunch of teams falling to this, including our Korean team, EGC falling. Bear desperately trying to get through, isn't able to do it. Circle goes to the northwest, and now Axial making a desperate run to try to get ahead of this circle, see if he can keep himself alive. He doesn't have too much further to go, so it looks like he is able to get in without being knocked. Pyrrha has gotten out of this building, bopped out of there by Unique, and he is laying prone. And look at this, continuing to just rain destruction down is G9 and RRQ. Box Gaming is going to go out in 9th place. Look at this, 6 kills already for RRQ. This is unreal. They are absolutely just destroying everything in these lobbies these last 2 days. Unreal. I can't even describe how well they're playing.
Well, it's kind of like a bulldozer, you know? They just roll on through and they just flatten everything in front of them, and that's exactly what's happening here, except it is PUBG Mobile, and no team can really stand up to them, and it's not even like they're playing passively. They're not playing overly aggressive, but anything that they run into, they are taking out, especially here on day number 2. Kisker, I don't know if he's moved.
He did move. He moved to the other side. He went from he went from the east side to the west side of this mountain. But RRQ's going to see him. He's got to be super careful now. He's going to have to try to back out. He is going to get caught and down. That is going to be Top Esports in 7th place. I'm not sure if they as well gained enough points to find the grand finals. I don't think so, but now let's turn our attention over to Elementrix. Pubg and the others. Oh, G9, you are doing such a good job. Pubg taking some damage there. He's got to be careful. Kaizo's going to open the door. They might try to pop some shots, and he's going to be able to get around the wall, potentially get the heal. Mystic might go down to the circle, just able to run ahead of it. Are you kidding me?
He's going to just barely survive here. He's going to pick up that first aid. And, well, let's see if Ernie can do something here, just shooting down onto the members of Unique, as there are 4 members down there. One of them is going to get knocked. Make that 2 as RRQ. The bulldozing does not stop.
Yeah, it's Kitsune left for Unique there and Old Boy, and there is just so much fire raining down from RRQ. A veritable thunderstorm from this team as they are just trying to get everybody they can. So many players out in the open getting caught by them, but Elementrix did find this compound early on and has successfully defended it and are continuing to find a nice spot inside of the circle. Finally, RRQ is going to have to move, and you can't just jump down. It's too far. And look at this. This is exactly what I'm talking about. D2E's got to go around further to the side. Now they're going to be pretty skilled. And yeah, Senior tried it. He risked it. It's just a bit too far. I'm not sure if D2E is going to be able to get that heal off. No, he is going to go down to the zone as well. G9 and Ernie are going to be the last 2 to survive from the mountaintop.
And, well, Ernie is going to go down here as well as Elementrix once again showing up here on this map of Sanhok, going to take out another member in Ernie, but G9 going to strike back against Unique this time around. Old Boy going to be taken out.
14 kills. 14 kills for RRQ Athena. Once again, this is definitely a 100-plus point 4-game series for them. They're averaging over 25 points a game. Monstrous performance from them, but this one's going to be a little more difficult to pick up that chicken dinner. Kitsune still out in the blue, is going to be able to heal up. He's just trying to out heal, seeing if he can gain another placement out of this. He knows he's not going to be able to do much else. He's going to pop outside here, but he is pretty much dead to rights. There's nobody behind that rock. He's just trying to pre-fire, seeing if he can get something lucky, but nope, he is going to go down to the circle, and Unique goes out in 4th place.
Yeah, down he will go right now. Elementrix in the best spot. It looks like it's 3 of their members, and then we got Maven, and we have G9. So, pretty interesting spot here. Elementrix in the best position to pick up that chicken. As 4 kills total here for the Red Canids. They'd love to pick up 2nd place. I think that would bring them into the second part. And G9 is just going to get pummeled here by the rest of Elementrix. And that's exactly what Maven wanted to see.
I loved that play from Elementrix. Just get up and over that wall. They knew exactly where G9 is. Finish him off. Maxon gets 1. Can he get another? Can he do it? No, it is going to be Elementrix who takes the final game for Group B.
Nicely done, Maxon actually able to pick up another kill for the Red Canids, but you gotta admire Elementrix. This is a team that we did not expect to place extremely high, but once again, they're gonna come up here towards the top, even getting the chicken dinner on this map of Sanhok, so really gotta shout them out. Of course, it's easy to shout out RRQ, who had an amazing performance once again, but Elementrix, I'm really impressed by their play so far. Yeah,
they look really strong. A team that we definitely considered to be on the bottom of Group B, to be honest. No disrespect to them, but they didn't qualify for the fall split grand finals or anything. So we haven't seen them in a while. 2 wins in 4 maps for them, Jason.
Yeah, they didn't even make it out of India, unfortunately, the South Asia Regional Finals we did have. So it's great to see them be able to take that practice they're able to do within that time. You know, they didn't slack at all. They knew there were more tournaments coming up. And of course, with 2020 right around the corner, you need to prepare, you need to play well. And honestly, if you're Unique, you should be a little bit happy here too, considering you were able to place relatively high. They start off the day in 10th place. I don't know where they're going to be at just now, but this is a strong victory for them. They have smiles on their faces, so I'm assuming they feel like they were able to qualify off the back of that. Cloud9, again, I feel so bad for them, having some rough times. Pyrrha left alone, trying to just survive, just trying to pull the Tropic Thunder and just hold on as long as he possibly could. But yeah, Top Esports was eliminated early. ETG made me look like a massive idiot.
Yeah, Jace.
You know, not just me. I do have a text message from Mustache Dave saying Entity are going to qualify. He's a team, that's a team to watch.
Oh.
But don't worry, multiple teams that he supported did really bad. So maybe he was the bad luck charm for them.
He was telling me Cloud9, and I think they're going to get through to the grand finals. I think they're just going to be able to squeak through there, and we'll get all these points tallied up as soon as we can and get you guys those final results from Group B. And here you can see Go Skilla. This is Cloud9 coming through, absolutely bulldozing them. And here we go, another grenade from Ernie. This is what we see from RRQ.
I already saw it once. I don't need to see it again. Come on, my boys from India. They've had enough. They've had enough beating down. Also, Red Canids. They start the day in 12th place. They fared pretty well, getting second place finish, which is 14 points, which automatically boosts them up massively. They started off, if I can read correctly, with 11. So already getting more points from that one game alone than they were able to get in the entirety of yesterday. They might have been able to break through into the top 8 as well.
You have to imagine that they did. It's going to come down to that final scoreboard that we will have to take a look at here at the end. And this is kind of a funny moment. RRQ, if they didn't take 2 casualties, or rather 3 or 2 from the jumping and then 1 as they were desperately trying to make it into the circle, you could have even imagined them picking up another chicken dinner. I love the finish here by Max, and picks up that last kill.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just to get that extra point. Knew he wasn't going to get the 1v3, but as you mentioned, Red Cannons after that, I think they should be making it into tomorrow.
Imagine they qualify through in top 8 by 1 point. Because of that. Because of that kill. That would have been phenomenal for them. But yeah, obviously able to get through. I think a lot of teams, you saw the pressure on them. We saw teams who were kind of sitting towards last place, trying to fight, trying to get as many kills as possible. RRQ Athena, they wanted to break the 100-point gap. They're like, yeah, let's get 100 points here in 4 games. The thing is, they were absorbing so many points. They had, I think it was 14 kills towards the end of that game, and they finished around 3rd place. They absorbed so many points away from other teams that it makes it that much harder to either maintain your spot if you're on the cusp, or to potentially get in.
Well, and another team that you got to wonder about is ARW, not taking that moment to get a kill at the end of the game on Miramar today. Is that going to cost them as well? These little points that we're talking about with Max in here at the end. He smartly flushes out that kill, finishes things off, but is that mistake by Uver going to cost ARW a spot in the grand finals?
I would hate for that to happen.
Yeah, I mean, he even had a chance to get 2nd place there if he hopped out of the truck and just made his way forward, but it was almost like he was frozen in time, like he didn't know what to do, and he healed way too late and
tripped getting out of the truck and face planted, and that was it.
Forgot to tie his shoes, and it was all over from there. As it was kind of unfortunate to watch that happen. And as you were mentioning, Jason, it could be a difference of 1 or 2 points that makes the difference for some of these teams, as we will be getting that final tally for Group B here in just a sec.
I do want to look really quickly, because I have it written down in my notes of how the tiebreaker does go, if we potentially have one. Because it's very realistic that we possibly could, considering there's only 4 matches played. There's not many points accumulated for a lot of these teams. So if you give me 1 second, if you guys could talk here while I pull it up, that'd be fantastic.
Right, so
I know you're not tired talking just yet.
Some other teams that I think are definitely going to make it through. Team Queso should be all right. Nobody really, at the bottom of all of this accumulated enough points to make a difference, because this got so top heavy with RRQ Athena, just miles above everybody else. I feel like Queso's pretty safely in.
I'm wondering about, looks like we have an update. What is the tiebreaker?
Tiebreaker goes in terms of this. It goes total kills in the entire tournament, total placement points entire tournament, and then total chicken dinners. So it'll go kills, placement, chicken dinners.
Kills the most important thing.
Exactly.
As we have highlighted many times here. But I'm also curious about Go Skilla. They came into today, they got 6th place yesterday. But will they make it after kind of a rough performance this time around? I'm not so sure.
I'm calling yes.
You think so?
I got faith in my Kazakhstan boys.
I'd love to see it.
Because they got really far on the game in Miramar.
True.
Remember, they were holding that one warehouse compound on ETG towards the north up against ARW. They survived for a pretty long time. I want to say they had quite a few kills, though I can't
But they only got 2 points in the final map. So that's, they had a good showing there, but then they kind of fell off. They were the first team eliminated, actually, on
the upside, though. No Rage got knocked out early. Top Esports got knocked out early. Footballers got knocked out early. Entity got knocked out early. That's 4 teams in the 9th through 16th place they don't have to worry about too much.
Yeah, it's going to come down to teams like ARW and a few others that were in the middle there. Like what the Red Cannons as well are going to be, be leapfrogging up a little bit more here. So were they pushed far enough out? It's going to be really, really tight there in the middle of that. So
I feel bad for all the players just waiting to find out if they've been able to make it through or not. But I believe we do have our round ranking. Or not. I'm not sure. I don't know what we're doing right now. It's a beautiful stage. I think I heard we're heading to a break, if you can confirm that for me, and then we'll be coming back with the results.
I believe that is what he said. So.
It's hard. I was talking at the same time while trying to listen. It's very difficult for me to do.
That's very difficult.
Okay, well then, you know what? Let's just do it. Let's just assume we're going to a break, and when we come back, we're going to have our top 8 teams who have made it through. We're going to have our results, so don't go anywhere.
Shows that something is you have to be at work at 9 a.m. Late to a busy day at work.
We making it through into tomorrow, and now we finally have some answers of what teams will unfortunately have to go home.
Hey, Jason, you were right about Ghost Skill, actually. They did make it in.
Let's go!
I was a little bit skeptical about that choice, but they did barely make it in. And speaking about a 1-point difference, we did actually have it for 8th and 9th place. EGC Korea Black gonna make it in just barely over EVOS.
Wait, so
Look at that.
if ARW survived into 2nd place instead of dying from not healing,
Yeah.
they might have been able to qualify.
That's exactly what I was just looking at.
I'm sorry to take that from you.
Uber's, man, I don't know what exactly happened there. I'm going to maybe try to find him afterwards, pick his brain a bit. But that is a disappointing finish for them for sure. They had a pretty good shot to come through and 3 points short.
You know what's also an odd number here? Look at the 2nd place team. 2 chicken dinners, that's 40 points alone from placements, which means they had 16 kills only. And then you have RRQ Athena with only 1 chicken dinner. Actually, maybe not 16 kills only, because obviously placing in other parts, but that means they had really no kills the entire time.
Yeah, it means they have actually less kills than you would have.
Yeah.
Your point still stands. I mean, they were getting less than probably 3 or 2 kills around, so they were not a team to go in there guns blazing. They were definitely one that picked up their chicken dinners by being in the right place at the right time and just playing it a bit more passively and staying alive.
I mean, almost double the points here from Elementrix to Athena. That is crazy good. They are so strong. And then Unique and Queso, of course, having pretty solid rounds for themselves. Queso's doing a really nice job rotating, I feel like. I like what I'm seeing from them in terms of their patience and then finding the right moments to strike into the center of circles.
Well, we'll be seeing these teams once again tomorrow. In the meantime, though, we're going to head down to the stage for an interview with RRQ Athena.
And ladies and gentlemen, we are here right now with the leading team of Group B with 103 points. Congratulations, you are still leading here in Group B. So the question is, how do you do it? What is your secret?
เรากล้าเล่นกันครับแล้วก็เล่นกันเป็นทีมครับ
And
I think it's teamwork.
great, amazing stuff. So now, question to every member of RRQ. What are your expectations for the finals?
คาดหวังของพรุ่งนี้คืออะไรนะคะคาดหวังพรุ่งนี้คืออะไรคะ
พรุ่งนี้เราก็จะเล่นเต็มที่ครับแล้วเราก็หวังว่าเราจะทำคะแนนได้ดีแล้วก็ออกมาเป็นที่หนึ่งครับ
I think we'll win the first place.
All right, first place, good attitude. What about you, sir? Expectations for the finals?
ก็จะทำให้ดีครับจะทำให้เต็มที่
Welcome back, everyone, to the PUBG Mobile Star Challenge World Cup 2019. We have Group B. We have our 8 teams able to make it through into the final day. But it's time to find out who the other 8 teams are going to be. Jason Cap and Paper Thin Valdez getting more handsome as we go down the desk. And also more sick, I guess.
Well, I mean, if I'm in the middle, that means I'm like in the middle of handsomeness. I'm okay with that. I'm totally fine with that.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
I think that's the message he was trying to portray. Although, Jason, you're feeling a little bit sick yourself.
I feel like we should both get closer
I don't
to
know.
Paper.
Yeah. Maybe we can just,
buddy.
you know, like.
Hey.
I have nowhere to go.
No escape for you.
Yeah,
you
especially
stand on the
don't.
box.
You especially don't, because you really can't back up or move to the side.
Then the ruse is going to be up, and
it's fine. I think people know. People know I'm a massive giant. That's why I played the tree in. Oh my gosh, Johnny. What was his name?
Appleseed?
No, the Beanstalk.
Oh, Johnny and the Beanstalk?
No! What's his name?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I thought I would know after you said
Whatever.
Beanstalk, but
I
don't
played the
remember
Beanstalk
now.
in that one. So in our little play in our elementary
James
school,
and the
they chopped me down.
Peach?
No.
Also a good movie, though.
Grows on a tree.
Johnny Appleseed?
Well, let's take a look, though, in the meantime, over at what we're doing here. Let's take a look at the Group A standings to see currently where our teams do stand. Remember, it's only top 8 making through into the final day, into tomorrow. And let's see the current point spread. 46 looking a little bit similar to what we saw out of RRQ Athena.
Yeah, I think 46 and 6N looking pretty darn good. I can't imagine that either of them are going to find themselves out of it. SNP as well. I mean, basically these top 5 teams are pretty well ahead of all of the other teams. It's going to take a really disastrous day for one of them to really find themselves outside of the grand finals.
Yeah, and as you were saying, Paper Thin, earlier on, the cutoff seems to be around 32 to 34, and I believe it actually was 32. So if you are one of these top teams, you're totally fine. SMP, they're going to pick up a couple of points anyway just for participating, even if they kill absolutely nothing. That doesn't mean like it's hard 32 points to make it in, but definitely feeling pretty good for those teams that had a good day one. We're taking a look here at 46 Loot.
What was it? Trump, we were being told, is like the player who just kind of is like a wild card sometimes.
Yes, that's what they said. He's the player who, if it is going to make a big mistake, it's going to be it was actually his teammate who was standing next to him cooking a grenade too long, blew themselves up. He clutches out the chicken dinner.
We didn't talk about that. We didn't talk about that grenade.
I got to say, Master for them playing very well. 9 kills so far in this tournament.
And of course, GN team as well. They actually are, sorry, 6N team. They got 20 kills.
It looks like a G.
It does a little bit. They got 20 kills in one of their games yesterday, and that was the biggest scoreline we've seen out of this team. They weren't really able to clutch out in the end to get the whopping 40 points off of that one, but they can still be happy about the result. Come on.
SMP here.
Hold the eye contact. Don't look away.
No.
Don't look away. Hold
right
it. Hold it.
Look at the camera.
Hold it.
First thing they teach
This man is a legend.
in caster school. He keeps looking at the person. He's like, am I still on? Am I still on?
he did okay. I'd rate that, 8 out of 8. As we're taking a look here at the Me Assassins, the Middle Eastern Assassins, you'd have to imagine Syed yesterday had a pretty massive day, especially in the first map we did see. Really was the first person to make a big impact on us casters. So we'll see if he can keep it up here.
He had a 1v2 with a down teammate next to him that would have ended the game if he died. Then he almost had a 1v3. He was able to get 2 down, but unfortunately couldn't take down the 3rd. That man's really stepped up for the team, helped get them into the position they're currently in, trying to make it through. The thing is, like, this road does not get easier for any of these teams once you do make it into the top 8. Because now you're playing against international teams. You're playing against teams who have been at the PMCO Global Finals, teams that have been, obviously playing against their opponents for such a long time that they're going to have to really adapt when it comes to that final day.
Yeah, I think there were a couple teams that I thought looked like they really could compete on those stages, especially 46 Loot and 6N, of course. Good rotations, good aggressiveness, knowing the right times to be aggressive and when not to be. Disciplined play overall is what ends up winning the day. This is what I think RRQ Athena does really well. They're disciplined. You can't really say they're aggressive or defensive. They just take the moments to be aggressive when they need to, and they know when they need to be defensive.
Yeah, so we're taking a good look here at 46 Loot. Obviously, I don't think they have that kind of resume, the same thing as RRQ Athena, where we can say they're going to dominate here on day number 2, but they did a great job to get to where they are for now, as it looks like we're almost ready to hop into this game.
So ladies and gentlemen, let's get into our penultimate game of the day, our penultimate game of the group. It's going to be on Miramar, and of course it's going to be brought to you by Paper Thin and Valdez.
All right. Round 3, Miramar. The plane is up and over. Another not so generous plane path here today. We've been seeing some kind of dicey ones here, Valdez, where we're starting out very north this time and cruising over to Junkyard. So for Group B, they saw a southerly plane path. For Group A, it is going to be a northernly one, and right away the MEA Assassins getting out early. Looks like they might be thinking about El Pozo or something further south, depending on exactly what they feel comfortable with here. We'll find out in just a little bit as the other teams starting to parachute out. Of course, if you want to go to something like Los Leones, Chumacera, that kind of thing, going to be a little bit more difficult here. So we might see we saw an early splatter. Group B, maybe we'll see that here with the run over.
Yeah, the fun part about this Group A, the MENA teams, is that they overall are a bit more aggressive. They're not scared to get in there and take the fights early on. So I like watching this group, honestly, a little bit more than the other one, just because we get the action earlier and faster. And yeah, we'll have to wait and see who is going to bring us that action to start us off here, as all eyes for now from our lovely observers are on to 46 Loot as they're heading down south.
Well, I will say another part of the fun of this is the first circle will reveal itself. Centered over San Martin, so a little bit northern for our first one. Probably won't see too much action except for something like this, where you can see a couple teams there trying to contest a spot. I didn't quite catch who that was flying over each other, but I think one of the overall things that's also fun about this Group A is this is kind of their first chance to really experience, for a lot of these teams, big international events. You know, a few like Arab Madness and others have been around to some big international lands. But a lot of these teams, you know, haven't, so we're getting to see them for the first time really get to strut their stuff, see what they've got, and looks like Vendetta should be okay, just grabbing this vehicle, and they aren't going to try to contest Picado. They just want to get out of Dodge.
I was taking a look at their last member that they kind of left behind, but I think there was a second vehicle, if I'm not mistaken, as the action already starting here. 46 Loot taking a member down already.
Oh boy, that's another one. That AK is so devastating. It is going to find at least 2 members of UI as the other 2. That Murado is very, very on fire. So they have to get out. There's only one left now. Another one down. Is this going to be UI out very early? Boo is so weak. Master is trying to come up and over. Can Boo keep himself safe? He does get found, and UI goes down early to 46.
Oh, what a devastating start here for UI. I mean, that's not what they wanted to do. So many other teams were able to hop right into a vehicle and get on their merry way, but when you land right next to 46 Loot, you best believe that that's not going to happen as easily. So they go down really early, and they were in 9th place after the first day. So this is a big day for them. They cannot afford to have that kind of start.
Yeah, you're exactly right, Valdez. Devastating start. One of the 2 teams that made it through the qualifiers for this event from the MENA region. So that is definitely not how they want to get things going here. Divine, we just showed them a little bit. I want to talk about that team just briefly, and it's not good. 0 kills, no placement points other than 1 point. So they never got into that, you know, into those top spots, into the top 10. And Divine is a large esports organization. They have many esports teams across the world, and they're a big name. There's a lot, you know, kind of at stake for them to live up to that, and so far it hasn't been good.
Yeah, it's definitely unfortunate for them the first day. They're going to try to sweep that one under the rug, and we talked about this before. If you have a bad first day, you need to have a good second day, because there are only 4 matches that you are going to play. It's not as forgiving as some other longer tournaments that we do have here. As Ghost taking a look at him. He was glitching out there for just a second, but he's looting on up. Was able to pick up that M16 for now.
All right, well, we're just going to be kind of taking things a little slow. Nemesis came into this in the 11th place. They are our other team that qualified. Them and UI were the 2 qualifiers through to make it into here in their regional. And they're a UAE team, and they're looking to see if they can pick it up here today. Potentially, nobody's really out of it at this point, because it got so top-heavy in this group that everybody from, you know, basically, what is that, 6th to even, like, 15th, you're within 12 points.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, that's nothing. That's a second place. So there's plenty of room to work with here today. Just got to have a couple good games. Maybe Miramar or Sandhawk is a map you feel confident on. Come pick up some points and get things going.
Absolutely. We already saw that in our first half of the day, that some of the teams that didn't have a great day were able to come into the second day and do much better. Even Entity Gaming, even though they didn't quite make it to the last day, they had a much better day number 2, as that circle slowly closing in there. A very forgiving one there, kind of smack dab in the middle.
Nothing but land in this circle, no water. So this is a pretty forgiving one early on. Things really shouldn't pick up too much unless we see a little bit of what we saw yesterday with some of these teams getting really aggressive towards center circle, around circle 3 or so. That's a pretty common time to want to make an early move. And we saw, like 6 or 7 teams bust for that lighthouse after that circle stayed kind of halfway between Sosnovka Island and the other one. So that was pretty interesting. And 46 was one of those teams. They end up coming out on top of all of it.
Taking a look here at Good Game, they spot a vehicle. It's only Syed, but he is going to go on his merry way. He's kind of the scout right now for the Mi Assassins. Just rolling around. There's also BAM nearby. Looks like they're just in transition past Montenuevo. Not really looking for any fights just yet. Taking it slow.
Good Game. They tried something a little goofy where they got in a boat early on where we kind of had that 50-50 circle yesterday. And it didn't quite pay off for them in the first game. But the second game, they got a second place finish, 3 kills. So if they can find a way in the late game, they can do all right. It was just a sole surviving member there on Vikendi. A good job by, I believe it was Zekos, from them to really buy a lot of time for his teammate. I think it was Menchar who came through and ended up squeaking out that second place for them. A team from Iraq, our only team from Iraq here. So trying to get Iraq into those grand finals, one of those top 8 spots. They are 7th going into today, and maybe they can find a little bit of success here. Ooh, that's a stun grenade bouncing outside of there by Vendetta. So 6N, let's see if they're going to try to go for Moha here. Moha's going to throw a grenade up and over, but Oped was out, and now he's got that Molotov rocking, and Dami and the other members of 6N are looking to see if they can add to their impressive kill scores.
Yeah, notice how they're just waiting on this one. It looks like they have correctly identified that there really isn't much help just yet from the side of VT, but we do have Graves slowly making his way in. Let's see exactly how aggressive they do want to get. Moha trying to make his way out, but he is going to be knocked down. And nearly taken out here, but actually Oped from behind Grave is able to get here on time and help out in the kill.
Yeah, a good attempt here by Grave. He is going to be able to buy Moha a little bit of survival time. A smoke is coming through. The problem with that is that maybe if 6N tries to flank around the sides, they might be able to catch Grave here. You can see Lord is drinking an energy drink. He should be pretty well aware that this res is going to be attempted by them. And there's that grenade that is going to do a bunch of damage. Molten rolls up here on a truck. He's trying to come in to help this out, but that's a really nice grenade there that is going to find a member of Vendetta and finish off another.
Oh boy, what a disaster here for VT. He just rolls on up in the car and falls out of the car and dies. And the rest of them get grenaded, and Moha's like, or not Moha, Kram is like, I'm out of here, guys. Sorry, like, I don't want to be part of this disaster. Get me into the circle, as that was not a good look for Vendetta.
No, it was a good attempt, but it's too late. They've got to be a little more aggressive on those rotations if they want to back up their teammate. If they decide they're going to take the fight, they've just got to commit to it and go for it. And they're one of those teams that needs those points. They were in 10th place, and now it's looking not so good to start out here on day 2.
Taking a look at Marley up against Limbo here. And both of these players taking it very slowly. Some shots going to be fired, giving away his position. Just kind of going for the Hail Mary shot there, but now Limbo knows exactly where he should be. Can potentially line this one up.
One thing to take notice of in this fight is the armor advantage that Marley has. He has a level 2 helmet, level 2 vest, where we only have a level 2 vest and a level 1 helmet from Limbo. See if that comes into play. Marley's also got a grenade, and he is going to cook that. Let's see if it is good. It does get some damage onto Limbo, but it's only about half health there. So now it's even more a little troublesome for Limbo here. He's going to try to bandage up. I don't think Marley has any more frags. It looks like he's just trying to wait this one out, and he's going to give Limbo a little bit of time. Neither player wanting to kind of push through this. Doesn't look like they have much backup yet, but here is AZ on the way, seeing if he can give his Yala. Oh, and another member of Yala. They're all rolling in. Limbo knows he's got to get out now. He's trying to get in that buggy, and he is just hoping beyond hope that he can get over the hill without taking too much damage, and I think he's going to be able to get away.
That's what I like about these MENA teams. They're not scared to get in, and then, well, when the time is right, they're going to get out as Limbo. A nice try to set that one up. Takes a bit of damage on the backside. Not sure how that one landed, but did a good job in at least scouting for his team. Is going to back way the hell up as the rest of Yala made it in, but his team was not there, so he did have to go for the retreat.
Yala is a team I want to talk about just a little bit going into today. They're doing okay. They're 6th right now. They got one 5th place finish with 8 kills total through both games. They're kind of an important team here because they used to be called the Real Deal. So if you're a MENA fan, you would know them as the Real Deal. They got picked up by Yala, which is a huge company here, so that's a big sponsorship for them. So they really, really want to try to find a way into those grand finals, try to show that they were worth that sponsorship.
Yeah, it's definitely a pretty cool thing to see. You know, some of these big teams in all the different regions being picked up and given that sponsorship so they can continue to pursue their dream of being a pro gamer here as we have more eyes onto 6N. Not the happiest team as they did lose one of their members, but at least they were able to pick up a bunch of kills on the backside of that fight against Vendetta. So not the worst situation in the world. We'll take another look at 46 Loot. That's a team that racked up a total of 19 kills in 2 rounds, and already starting off here before that second circle closes, they have 4 to start and are looking to continue their reign as first place in the group.
Yeah, and they've got a bunch of vehicles, which is really, really nice, really crucial to have on Miramar. Looks like we might have had a bit of an accident over here with Warrior from FP team, and that's okay. He doesn't have any health, though. Whoa, somebody's going to have to lend him some because he's pretty beat up. That's pretty unusual to be this far into the game without any first aid kits or any bandages. That shows that the loot was just really not great for them.
Maybe taking that one a little bit slower as the circle closing in around San Martin and Power Grid here. The Middle East Assassins going to be pretty happy about this one, as they do control the power grid currently with a crate nearby, so not half bad.
So what's going to be a little bit interesting here is if the Middle East Assassins can control this entire compound. It is large, covers a lot of space. There's a couple different angles, especially from the south, that are kind of easy to bust into there. So a lot of times you'll see teams just kind of retreat to the north in the power grid, and oh boy, another vehicle accident. We need to get some driver's licenses handed out to our players. They have not qualified for them yet, apparently, and oh no, and 46 has found the side of this accident, getting some damage into Kevin. There is Master, and look at this. Who is that coming up open over there? The green team, MBZ, is also just passing by. Yala might get sandwiched here between a couple teams if MBZ wants to stop and fight. It doesn't look like they do, though.
MBZ were just passing by. Not necessarily the good Samaritans here, just a bystander that said they didn't want anything to do with it. They are looking for the prime real estate here when it does come to Miramar, and that is going to be the center of this circle currently. We do have Limbo up here, though, from FP team. That's another team that struggled a lot in day number 1, a total of 6 points. But as you mentioned, Clinton, anything can happen if these teams do have a big day today. But with so many teams rolling up to this mountain, who is going to be the king of the hill is the real question.
Yeah, there's a bit of room to maneuver on the side of this hill. There's quite a bit of like crevices and other things that you can work with. On the bottom side of the hill, there's actually a bit of cover from the top side, so you can kind of nestle yourself up on the bottom side of this if you know the right spots and stay relatively safe from the teams that are going to get up on top. Of course, you'd prefer to be up on top. The real problem with being up on top is if this circle shifts towards power grid, there's basically nothing but like flat space from you to do the power grid.
Well, Arab Madness B52 trying to drop some bombs here from the top of this mountain. And it looks like there are a couple of mountainous terrains here. So many different teams have been able to get some nice covers so far. This next circle, I think, is going to be the most crucial and should see a lot of movement from the majority of the teams here, as even MBZ Falcons found a little nook here on this mountain.
Yeah, MBZ, they looked like they were thinking about a 2-2 split, but they wrapped around, regrouped, and decided to kind of fight as a unit. Divine is up on their backside. Let's see if Divine can find themselves at least one kill here today. KWT took a little bit of damage, did Outlaw there. Watch out, that bike's sliding down the hill too. And KWT, another team that had a lot of expectations coming to this, our Kuwaiti team, and they have not performed so far. They were definitely one of the favorites from the MENA region, and the first 2 games were not very good for them. This could be a really good grenade from Naya. Ooh, it's just going to bounce up. Not quite far enough.
Yeah, it can be rough to get that perfect bounce, and, well, you don't exactly want to jump up and reveal yourself into 4 members either. So you got to be careful about how you do throw these grenades. Boss going to take his own chance at throwing one up there.
Ooh, that one could be good. It bounces just up and over. Close. Oh, that one was really close. Problem here for 46 is they just used a lot of utility in this fight. Now, that being said, 46 again kind of in the, RRQ Athena situation where they could have come in here, not really done anything and still qualified for the grand final. So you know what?
Yeah.
It's okay. Might as well try to get those grenades to go. Some grenades falling on DV as we speak. MBZ Hunter doing a good job using that high ground prone advantage, looking over, seeing what he can find and looking for an angle to get some grenades in for himself.
Many different teams trying to find that perfect ridge on the mountain. As S&T, we haven't seen too much of them. Looks like they've had a mostly passive game. They're trying to drive on into the middle of this circle, at least try to get some high ground on the mountain and potentially shell down onto good game, but let's see exactly where they do want to finish up here.
Well, this is an interesting circle. It did shift east, so we've got this mountain ridge. We got the Paddle Mountain and all this. Whoa, somebody's trying to drive through. He's just going to get torn out of that vehicle by GG. And look at this. Azab even has a shotgun in his hand. Now, FP, was that a grenade there onto Vitamin? No, just a smoke it looks like. So he is going to be okay. There are the MEA Assassins looking over towards SNT. SNT having an okay day on the benefit of a passive chicken dinner on Vikendi. So let's see if they can take a fight and win it against a more aggressive, I would say, team here. Maybe a better fighting team, but that could just be because Syed was a one-man wrecking crew yesterday.
Yeah, I would have to give the favor over to ME Assassins for now. But, we haven't seen too much from S&T, as you were mentioning. They are a bit more of a passive team, so maybe they can come out here and surprise us. This is the highlight firefight for now. As all the grenades being thrown out, let's see who is going to get that first frag.
All right, MEA has Bam on the backside for them, trying to provide cover. He needs to hold that left-hand flank on your screen where you can see Sultan and Waleed. He needs to keep them off of that. That is the key point here for the MEA Assassins right now. And you can see Kuwait is getting a bunch of trouble. 46 has pushed down on top of them, using the circle to keep them pinned down, and I think they might have just finished them off there. That was really tough for KWT and a team that, yes, indeed, they are gone, that we were hoping might show some good performances here today, but it has not. Back over to this currently a stalemate between MEA and SNT. Zagurt up there, you got Waleed on the right-hand flank, and again, Bam in the back for MEA, doing a good job, really keeping SNT from being able to come around and get that flank that they oh so desperately want.
Hey, just keep a mild high ground there and see if you can chop down anyone, as both of those teams going to be scratching their heads now with the circle moving pretty far away from them here, a little bit east of center. And so if they are going to go for a firefight, it has to happen sometime soon. There's not much time as MEA are pushing up the hill.
Yeah, they got to make this work right now. How good is SNT's defense versus MEA? Now, SNT has backed themselves into a bit of a corner, and they are going to send Zagurt out ahead to try to get some scouting, see if there's a clear path for them to get out of this kind of bad situation. As MEA, I'm not sure if MEA has many grenades or anything left. There is a Molotov that comes up and over. I think that's just going to be a smoke there, potentially, for SNT. They're just trying to find a way out. MEA is opting to just bypass this fight. They're going to get in vehicles, so that might be bait. Trying to see if they can get a member of SNT to come up and over that hill, maybe steal a cheeky kill.
It did look like that's what he wanted to go for, and in fact, Sultan is going to take a quick peek. A bunch of shots fired already. As Kaito also on the move here. They decide, hey, we're not going to get stuck. The circle is moving. We got to get on our way.
All right, over to GG. Never mind. Here we go. 46 does have one down. A battle with Nemesis. Nemesis really desperately needing to win this fight, but they have one member down. Fragger is very, very hurt. He's supposed to be their top player. He is going to back off just a little bit, able to get behind that Bronco, and it looks like 46 Gaming does go down. Great play there by Nemesis. Some huge points for them.
That is pretty massive. Nemesis need all the points they can get in 11th place from yesterday, and they take out a big team ahead of them in the moment as well. So they're going to be the top team taken out here. 6N still alive, as we do see here on the left here for our current standings. As good game also going to be taken down here.
All right, Yala wants to get some kills. They're going to finish off SNP. A nice job there by AZ. That is some huge, huge points for them. They were one of the bubble teams, and that is going to be a couple more kills their way, continuing their march towards the grand finals. Now it could be them going up against MBZ. Never mind, there's somebody else dead now. A couple members of MBZ up on top of the hill. You got Masha Kill up there, along with Hunter, the two surviving members, and Yala looking to get aggressive and see if they can get a few more points.
Well, this the side of the hill is quite scary for a lot of these teams, not because they're scared of heights, but how are you going to make your way into the circle? You've got to go up here into a couple of teams potentially, as we're taking a look now at Yala versus MBZ. Peeking over, and well, that's a nice little circle for everybody who's on top of this mountain.
Wow, everybody up on the mountain doesn't have to move. It's all these teams on the northwest are going to have to duke it out, and maybe one or two will come through. But look at this. They've all found mini canyons for themselves to work with. SNT has two members left. MEA, they've got a couple. You got, oh, there's a couple members knocked there, 4v8. So they're trying to get some reses off. They do have just a bit of time, only about 20 more seconds, but Marley gets taken down by the Arab Madness team from distance. And they are trying to get on the backside of this hill. Let's see if we can get something going.
V8, as you can see, not in the best position here, trying to use those smokes to their advantage. It looks like only a couple of guys left available, and Guns going to be taken out immediately by one of the members here of Arab Madness.
Yeah, Arab Madness has a decent little position for themselves. They're the closest to this next circle that isn't already in it, so they can try and keep these teams that are wanting to rotate on the western side of this out. Look at this, Zero is really trying. Good underhand throw right on top of Hunter, but I think the fire is just missing him. I almost looked like Hunter was laughing a little bit there with his drink animation, but that is just shy. I thought that was going to be right on top of him. Just a bit too far. Quiet from Arab Madness. I think Aziz falls somehow. I think he got out of his vehicle too soon there. He's going to get himself knocked. And Wyatt's just trying to put some shots into that vehicle, make sure no one else is able to use it potentially. Yala should be looking over towards Arab Madness. Absolutely. He's got to be careful though. 3 members of them, if they decide to turn and put some fire into them, it could be trouble. But this smoke wall, very nice here for Arab Madness. Doing a good job building a bridge so they can get behind the mountain.
That was pretty much the only way these teams that were not on the mountain were going to make it in, and Arab Madness putting on a little show here. You would not like to make it this far and then get eliminated in 8th place, so props to them. We'll see how they can scale this mountain from the side, as even Kevin from the right side here looking to take some shots is going to be able to knock Quiet from the right.
The Molotov is just outside of the range of Quiet there, so for now, Quiet is okay. We'll see if Arab Madness can get to him. Kevin, the other members of Yala, he's just by himself out there. The other two are kind of more in the southern part of the circle, still kind of duking it out with MBZ. Here you have 6N. You got Limbo stuck in Limbo up in the middle of the mountain there, trying to see if he can fend off some of his opponents. And yeah, there you go. We've got MBZ just hanging out. Hunter's just waiting. He doesn't want to move. He's got a safe spot for now.
I love his position. Let's see if he can get lucky on this one, because there's not much room for him if he wants to make a move. Oh, he's in the next circle.
Wow. That is fantastic news if you're an MBZ fan. Hunter, very, very happy with that. There could be some teams that kind of come along the ridge from the east that might have some angles on him, so he's got to be a little bit careful. But for now, safe and sound. Yala, He's got to get Kevin back now. He's outside of the circle. Can he cross up and over in front of the Arab Madness team? Get to that spot. It's going to be very, very difficult. I didn't quite catch if he had any smokes there or not. Ooh, nice shooting there by Kevin. Is going to get the knock onto Molotov. He's going to start first aiding here. The circle is going to be closing very, very shortly. That is an excellent play by him to buy him some time. Smoke is down, coming around over to 6ND. They are looking, seeing nothing. We're over at Divine. Divine, oh, they've got 4 kills for themselves. So, okay, Divine has put themselves on the board outside of placement points, Valdez.
There's so many straggler teams that are somehow still in this game. I mean, we have the one member of Nemesis here. Salman is going to pick up a couple of kills, actually, onto 6N from behind. He is going to eliminate them and pick up 2 more kills for his team. He is being an ace right now for that team. Not sure if he can make his way up the hill, though. That's the real question. Looks like he just got eliminated, so no more Nemesis.
Oh, Kevin just missing the sprays onto Arab Madness, but he does have the high ground to kind of block the view for himself. Maybe we can get the res going for Yala. They might want to throw some smoke if Divine decides to come up and over that hill. Never mind, there's enough rock there that he doesn't have to worry about it. Forget it. He's okay, and there's Hunter. We're just checking in on him, seeing if he's doing all right. Anything, you need a pillow, you need a blanket, you doing okay there? I think he's all right.
Just taking a quick nap, you know. He wants to prepare himself for Sandhawk. He doesn't necessarily have to do anything in this map. Can just chill out, try to get a high placement, maybe pick up a couple of kills along the way. But that's going to be about it for him. Really, all eyes are on Divine Vendetta, Arab Madness, as well as Yala here. Kevin, the big thorn in the side of Arab Madness, but now it's not even about Yala. It's about Arab Madness versus Divine Vendetta, potentially, as they have the high ground here.
Yeah, you can see Majid playing the scout for Divine, seeing where the teams are that are on the other side of this plateau, and he's just looking over, trying to get some scopes in on with that that micro Uzi. Here you can see Yala, they're moving in now as well. The circle's closing on them, so they've got to kind of readjust their position. The circle shifted hard north on top of kind of Divine and Arab Madness, so now it's going to be up to Yala to be the aggressors. And look at this, this is such a sneaky play by Kevin. If Arab Madness doesn't know what's coming. Okay, it looked like Molotov spotted him. He is spotted out. Can he out-duel him? Yes, he does get 7 MD. Kevin is now in the line of fire of the other 3 members. He goes down. Majid trying to take advantage of this. He's coming through that micro. No, you got to turn and fire. He's going to get Arab Madness down. Nice timing, nice push by Majid.
That was pretty massive, and even though Kevin, it looked a little bit silly, his sacrifice might not be in vain. Although there are 4 members left here for Divine Vendetta, this might be the massive win that they absolutely needed after getting only 2 points from yesterday.
Think about it. Worst to first is very much in play. Hunter is just trying to find somewhere to survive. He's not going to be able to get back up that hill. He's just going to find a spot. He's got 5 first aid kits, and he is going to start the healing game, seeing if he can outlast one of these other 2 teams. And there it is. It hurts. It hurts so bad. Okay, he's fine. It's going to be all right. Yala's trying to get around the corner. Never mind, he wasn't able to do it in time. He should have been all right, but
4 on
okay.
2.
Well, can they do it? Can Yala win this 4 on 2? It'll be pretty crazy if they do, Valdez.
Notice, they're slowly trying to move on in, and they only have that 1. And here comes Mao, going in aggressive, gonna take out 1. There's only 1 left available. That's gonna be the 2nd kill, and Divine Vendetta will pick up the win here in the first match of today.
From first to worst, a huge, huge game. Everything they needed. Oh boy. 8 big kills for them as well on top of all of it. So now Yala might be putting themselves in a position to get through to the grand finals. You thought going into today with only 2 points that there may be no hope, but indeed there is with a big win.
That was a big deciding match as well for the entire group. That really mixes things up. What did you think about that one, Jason?
I thought it definitely had an interesting start. I'll definitely give it that. Seeing teams try to drive over and crash onto a compound and then kind of get knocked by his own car was a little bit unfortunate, but the end was interesting. Seeing Divine Vendetta, as you said, Paper Thin, going from worst to first in that one.
That's definitely what he said.
That is definitely what he said.
You said that once, and then you said...
And then he said the other way around the second time.
Oh, oops.
It's all good. It's all good. It's a good. But either way, I mean, seeing them be able to pull it off, right? I feel like, I think I wrote down, around the I think it was around like 5th or 6th zone, we had 4 out of the top 5 teams out early. And that really kind of shows anything can happen in this group. Again, like a lot of these teams, it's unexpected. It's really hard to predict how they'll really be able to perform. There's obviously a couple teams out there you're looking at, like SNT, 46 Loot after yesterday. But then to see like these teams be knocked out so early, 46 Loot, like fair to them, they don't need to win. They don't need to get far in the match. They can like literally just die first and chill the rest of the games today because they're already so far ahead that they should have a lockdown position into tomorrow. But the thing is, like the cutoff at the moment for 5th place is like 27 points. For the 8th place position, it's around like 13, or it's around 17, I should say. Sorry. So if you're one of these top 5 teams who got knocked early, if you're not 46 Loot, you might have to start to, you know, rethink some things. You can't really afford to do that too many times, especially if you have a team at the bottom of the scoreboard take home a chicken dinner.
Yeah, exactly. That really puts a lot of pressure on you if you're one of the kind of, you know, maybe 6th to 4th place teams, 6th to 3rd place teams. All of a sudden, this other team went from 2 to, let's see, 20 plus they got 7 kills, so that's 27. So they've got, you know,
29 points.
29 points. That puts you right up in that, you know.
You would be in 4th place right now if nothing else changed.
Right.
Like, that's how big of a match it was for them.
Yeah, and that's huge, and you got to find a way to readjust. I wonder if some of yesterday, you know, you never know with the nerves and that kind of thing, some of these teams like Divine who came in here and there was big expectations on them, now today they've kind of worked it out of their system.
Big expectations, and they've even got some fans in here as we are taking a look here at the round ranking. Divine Vendetta. After this match, you guys are seeing the numbers from just this one. They picked up 28 points. Yala, pretty close behind them, though, with 22.
You see Nemesis in there having a big game as well. They didn't fare too well yesterday, finishing around the 11th place position. But now we're going to see Yala's been able to go up to 3rd place. We have Emmy Assassins kind of falling a little bit there. But Divine Vendetta, even though they were in last place, they're able to make through into the top 8. Now, all they have to do is like maintain this position one more match. They're ahead by 6 points to Nemesis, who's currently in 9th place. If they, you know, get, what, you know, a couple points here or there, they should be able to lock down that position or maybe overtake someone else because they're only, what, 3 points behind 4th place? It's such a strong cluster of teams right now in that contention for top 8.
Yeah, 4th to 8th is 3 points. That is absolutely crazy. All of those teams need to have an okay game, and they should be all right. But then if a team like Nemesis or Good Game or the Falcons have a really nice, you know, a nice round, they could find themselves out of it, and it's going to be a really exciting Sanhok match because of that.
Well, we obviously got to hear yesterday, if you missed out on a couple of teams and their thoughts coming into the tournament. Before we do get ready for our last match of the group, we're going to hear once again from some other teams on what they thought coming into today.
The last tournament we played, it was PMCO. We reached the regional final. I think we have enough experience to win this tournament.
اللي يميزنا انه احنا نقدر نسيطر على اي بوش بصير لنا وبنقدر يعني نسوي ستريس للي قدامنا وعلى كل احنا ما جينا هون عشان ناخذ مركز ثاني او ثالث احنا هون بس عشان الاول. It's easy to get.
My team is Nemesis. The word means that there is angry. My advantage in the teams, we play smart. We play the zone and we don't rush. This time in such challenge, we're gonna get the first place.
We are the Middle East Assassins. We are a Lebanese team. We have the experience. We have the strategies. We have everything we need. So we have a good percentage to win this. We must win. Wait for us. We're gonna win this.
بإذن الله إن شاء الله احنا مو خايفين من أي فريق. بإذن الله راح نأدي أداء كويس. بإذن الله راح نفوز.
We are FP team. FP means feel the pain. We don't have any care about another teams. We care about our teams first. Winner of Pubg is decided by last standing man, and we will play it smart to beat this last standing man.
احنا بنحب نهجم، احنا ما بنخافش من اي حد. ما تستهونوش بينا، احنا فريق جامد قوي 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 يعني وابعدوا عننا احسن لكم.
We are MBZ Falcons and we are representing UAE. Our team's strength is defense, so other teams there better not to push on us. Last standing winner is MBZ Falcons.
Well, we obviously got to hear from the teams and how they like to play. MBZ Falcons talking about how their defensive play is their go-to and you shouldn't push them, but I mean, what can you really say off of that? Like, they need to be able to put up performances to support that. They're able to get pretty far in that last game, but will it be enough for them to maintain or to get into a top 8 spot?
SNT, they came in today 5th. Not much going on in that game for them, so they're kind of one of those teams that are in those kind of very tightly knit 4th to 8th place spots. Let's see if they can find something on Sandhawk. This is a map that usually, you know, kind of rewards teams that are good at taking fights, being aggressive, that kind of thing. See if they can find something in the tank for that a little bit. Yala, of course, I talked about them at the beginning of that game. They needed a big game, and they got it, Valdez.
It was a pretty massive game, even. I think they racked up a total of 8 or 9 kills after that one. Shout out to Kevin, who was kind of taking on Arab Madness by himself from the side. A big thorn in the side of that team, and just the way they controlled that position that they were at on top of the mountain was really impressive for me, and I think they're showing a little bit more of what we were expecting from this team today.
I'm getting really worried when we go into Sandhawk. I mean, we were talking to Arabic casters, and they were saying, like, yeah, Group A was so much fun to watch because there was so much fighting, so much action. Group B is like everyone's playing passive. That's a difference in styles at the moment in the way the two, well, I can't say two regions, but the two groups are playing. But when we go to a map like Sandhawk, with them playing that aggressive, I feel like this is going to be a bloodbath.
I would expect it to be. So far, they've definitely been a much more action-packed group. They're really trying to take advantage of their situation, take advantage of this chance, the first, PUBG Mobile tournament in Saudi Arabia, really getting things kicked off for esports in Saudi Arabia, trying to make a name for themselves. A couple of the, a lot of these teams are from the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia as well, so just really exciting stuff. Let's see what they've got for Sandhawk. This one I can't wait for. This should be really fascinating.
It should be a lot of fun. I'm definitely looking forward to it. We had Arab Madness there on our screen for just a moment. They were actually 8th yesterday, but a big game here. I believe they picked up 4th place as MBZ Falcons were able to survive a little bit longer than they did, kind of sandwich in between two teams, but very consistent play from Arab Madness. Like to call them out for now, as all the teams now just, well, we're getting a little bit of celebrations from some of the players out here trying to get the fans going.
I wonder if they know their current ranking, because yeah, they're in 8th place right now, but if they get knocked out like 16th, 15th, 14th, 13th, 12th, 11, I'll stop there, then that's 1 point, right? And they still technically could not make it top 8. I respect the morale within the team, and I hope they can carry that momentum into the next match. But then we have to wonder, as we talked about with Group B, if you're one of those teams outside the top 8, do you hot drop? I feel like there's a certain limit to it. I feel like if you're in contention of 4 to maybe 8 points, going for something extra aggressive might not work out for you. But if you're on the team, currently on the bottom, like we had Divine Vendetta, only 2 points, like you have to go for something like that.
Yeah, at this point, you've got to get aggressive. You've got to get kills. If you're that far down outside of that top 8 spot, I mean, the closest team to them was 6 points away. Those teams that are in, that have like 20 points or so, probably don't need to get aggressive yet. They could probably play their game, try to get the chicken dinner. Everybody else on the bottom there really needs to find a lot of points because it's a chicken dinner or nothing.
And, yeah, I mean, we only have 1 map left. That's what happens when we get into this kind of format where there's only 4 maps to decide your fate. It comes down to this, all or nothing for a lot of these teams. And we're just taking a moment to get everybody ready and into the lobby.
You're supposed to break those glow sticks. Wait, are they lit? Oh, they are lit. Okay, it's just super, the screen's
I think one of them's not
very lit.
I wish we had some. I wanted to put them into the pockets, kind of like I don't know. I have some pockets somewhere.
They should give us some
eventually.
guns.
You know what they said to us? Wait, what?
What? I mean,
no, we need the helmets.
Oh, the helmets
would be the biggest thing.
I do wish we had the helmets. I do wish that would be
They're a little
pretty sweet.
uncomfortable with the headphones on, though.
Yeah, I mean, we wouldn't wear it at all times. We'd probably just hold it like right here, something like that.
No.
Maybe.
Then my arm's going to get sore.
Well,
I'm
you don't
a
hold it the
very
whole
needy
time.
caster, Jason.
You don't hold it the whole time. You know, eventually, like when you're casting on camera, you just like, I want to put it here.
Ah, okay.
Someone walks away and steals with it. I wanted one of those glow sticks. Maybe we'll get some. You know, actually, we were told we can take these vests home with us.
Yep.
Really?
Yeah, we were told that we can. No, we were. I swear.
Oh.
I swear.
Great.
I'm taking my home. I'm going to play PUBG Mobile dressed up like this. I think it gives you like plus to your aim, and I definitely need that.
Yeah, I think we all need that.
I don't need that.
I mean, when you get up there in age like we are, you know, your hand-eye coordination kind of goes.
Old fogies over here.
Get off our lawn, Valdez.
Sorry, yes, I'm sick. I should probably
get away
move
from
away.
me, first of all.
That's kind of rude. Just get away from me.
Just slowly move off the camera.
It's all right. I'm good. I'm fine.
I always expect you to just keep going and then just keep going back to the hotel, get in bed. Don't worry, guys. I'm coming back. I'll be in a second.
Yesterday, that was definitely the way I was feeling, but definitely feeling a bit better today. So that's fun. Get to enjoy the action a little bit more today.
I think we also saw from some of the teams up there, like they realized like the pressure, the nerves. Again, like something we have to really reiterate is the fact that this is probably the first time a lot of these players are playing on LAN, let alone on a stage, let alone in front of an audience. Like this is a lot of extra pressure you don't have to deal with while you're at home, dressed however you are, laying wherever you are, sitting like your own kind of peripherals, your own kind of position. Also, they're all playing on the same phone, all at the same ping. So they're all like kind of in the exact same, situation here, and that's where we can see like teams we never expected to break out have that opportunity.
Yeah, a lot of it's going to come down to your individual skill. If you've got a couple players who can just frag out and actually, just out-duel opponents, you're going to get a lot of kills and a lot of points just based on that alone. You just need, an ace to step up, the big players step up on the big stages, and, we're looking to see who's going to be that person today.
It was Sayed yesterday. MB Assassin, they've been a little bit quiet, I'd say. After that first game we saw, with Sayed just able to like pull off the 1v2, almost pull off the 1v3, and win the whole game. They went on to game 2, and they only got 6 points. Or sorry, wow, I can't read correctly. 2 points plus the 3 from the kills. So like they got really quiet, and you can't have that one big breakout game unless you're a 6N team because they got 20 kills.
Yeah, I mean, there's varying levels of breakout games, right? So there's still one map left. We'll see if they can actually do it. We were very impressed by them yesterday, but perhaps they were not prepared for today, as all the teams seems a bit more competitive this time around for Group A.
Now, I think we're actually getting very close to dropping in on the Sandhawk. We can see that the heat is getting to them, the pressure is building, the sweat is coming out of all their pores. They head over to the moist map of Sandhawk, but this is it. This is do or die time for all of these teams out there. You have to make top 8. And considering with what's on the line in 2020, with the Pro League coming around with $5 million on the line, this is your chance. Like, if you get through an international tour to the finals, you get to play against these international teams. You get to get this extra experience you never would have had the ability to get coming into next year, which might get you into the Pro League, might get you into the World League, and might get you some big bucks as well.
And if you make it into the grand finals, you're making at least an extra $1,000 for yourself. Everybody that doesn't make it to the grand finals gets $1,000. Everybody else gets at least $2,000. So you can at least hang your hat on that as well. So you really, really want to get through.
I want one of those trophies because those things look sick. I don't know how the heck I would be able to get that home through airport security, but you know what, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to kick off our final match of Group A. It's our final match of the day. It's going to be on Sandhawk, brought to you by the two handsome gentlemen, Valdez and Paper Thin.
All right, the very final game here is going to be a straight down the center plane path. This is quite nice for these teams. It's not as brutal as that other plane path. Again, it doesn't matter as much on Sandhawk because it's a little smaller, and I'm not a big fan of Sandhawk, and let me tell you why, Valdez. It's hot on this map, and I am not a person who deals with hot weather well.
Hey, I mean, you and I, we went over to Thailand last year, and we cast some PUBG Mobile there on the beach.
And it was hot.
I do remember that you were experiencing some sweating. I was okay. It was very humid, but
Yes.
it was a lot of fun, for sure.
Once it got to be night, it wasn't so bad, but there was
the
like
pool
yeah,
as
the
well.
pool, and we had that cool hotel set up where the players were playing on the balconies and stuff. quite a unique event.
Yeah,
and
that was a lot of fun.
That was a lot of fun. That was pretty cool. That was something I'll always remember. This circle is definitely not going to be on the Northwestern Island, though. This one's going down dead center. See exactly where this one's going to meander itself to. I tried to say meander and wander at the same time. I made a new word, meander.
Well, we already have some action here. Sultan taking a bunch of damage already.
Yeah, so this is the fight over.
Wow.
Oh my gosh, this is SNT versus SNP. Maybe we could, this is over in Camp Bravo, by the way. This isn't even boot camp that two teams are fighting over, so maybe we can go with P&T versus each other here, as it's very hard to keep the two of them separated in a way with SN at the beginning of both of them. And we already had one knock. Citizen will find himself being revived behind the box. Should be A-okay, it looks like. Doesn't look like anybody has an angle on him right now. And there's Zagurt, that QBZ. Just looking, seeing if he can see anybody, kind of trying to pop their head up, trying to see if they can get on top of one of the roofs, looking for an angle onto his teammates.
Yeah, just in case you guys were wondering, Zagurt has named the 8 there as the second symbol. We were told by the Arabic casters that that's what it stands for, the G. So that's why we are pronouncing it that way as SNT. They don't want to have any more fights here. They're actually looking to run away for now, but Sultan going to get some cover here.
Yeah, could be a wise move. If you're the first one to get out, you are the one who is able to set up the blockade, as the circle most likely will shift away from this location. So I think this is, if you've got good enough loot, if you feel comfortable enough with your situation, absolutely you can move on out. And we'll see exactly what SNP wants to do in response to this situation. FP is also up on top of this. You can see their limbos on the top of this map, and we'll find out if they're going to butt heads here eventually, as we're just getting the blue starting to creep its way into things.
Yeah, slowly but surely are making our way in. It was funny to listen to the interview here from MBZ Falcons in between the matches, where they said, we are the defensive team. We like to sit back and not shoot our bullets that much, and we saw a lot of that there in game number 3. Definitely living up to what they said in the interview, so got to hand it to them for that. Kuwait team, unfortunately, 3 bad matches, so not really going to have much of an opportunity. They basically need to get the chicken dinner in order to have any chance to make it into that final day, but they're going up against 6N and already taking a casualty.
Yeah, one hell of opponent to be going up against our top fragging team going into today. And, ooh, Kamikaze might find the angle. He gets a bunch of damage there. Isn't able to get the knock, though, so now he might think about pushing out. Ooh, smart move here, getting down in the grass, trying to stay hidden, going over there towards Dai. Lord is trying to keep the angle clear here. I don't think they've seen Kamikaze yet. Dai is trying to look around the corner. You got to be real careful of your Kamikaze. The more movement you make, the more likely you are to be seen. So now he's just flanked out, seeing if he can find Dai. Dai didn't seem to have a first aid kit to use there, so for now, he might get caught out if another member of KWT can find the angle.
Some more shots going down here, but it looks like just some sprays to try to get some damage done here. Dai all the way into that camp, trying to do what he can. But Kamikaze, as you mentioned, really is just this forward position for scouting that is fantastic. And he can pop out at any time.
Oh, this might be that time. He's going to get a bunch of damage into Dai. Gonna get the knock. Can he find another? He is taking some damage now. His location is revealed, but he is going to get found out. The members of 6N only fooled once. Oh, what a shot from Boss! What a headshot there. Incredible work by him. My goodness.
Well, he did not want to go down without a fight here at this tournament, but as I say that, he is going to be taken down. Kind of unfortunate for him, but a good shot nonetheless.
Started to push across that road, and 6N was very ready for it. They're going to finish him off and make him pay the price. Surely Kamikaze will be the next victim. Outlaw trying to cook a grenade, seeing if he can make 6N pay for this. That grenade just goes in and helps take out his teammate, so he wasn't able to find a member of 6N, and at this point, KWT's day is all but done.
Pretty much. It's up to Outlaw to just stay alive in this match, as he is definitely not going to take the fight any longer. We saw Syed once again from ME Assassins showing up on the kill feed. Would love to get a look over at him, as he's a name we've been saying multiple times. But for now, we're just going to take a look at 46 Loot up against SNT. SNT right from the get-go on this map have been finding the action, and it's not going to stop just yet.
I lobbied to call Zert or something like that. The Arab casters were having none of it. Yeah, they were having none of it. They're like, nope, there's a G in there. And I'm like, all right, I'll do my best. Master 46, they're very aware that SNT is up here. Zagurt is your front man for SNT. The other members aren't in great positions if 46 swings around to the western side there on Zagurt's right hand. He is not going to be happy because there is nobody to cover him from that angle.
Taking a look at Yala here. Haven't seen too much from them, but a couple of members hanging around the middle of this circle right now. Still a long while until the circle will close fully on in, but good position for them so far, as this fight's still going on, but it doesn't look like SNT want to take any aggressive positions. They say, if you really want to fight us, come at us, as we are just going to take defensive positions and try to snipe you as you make your way forward.
Yeah, wise positioning by Zagurt there, getting on the other side of that rock, so his right-hand flank is covered from that side, and he can hear the opponents coming, and then he can call in the backup from his team. In fact, he doesn't even like it that much. He's just going to back right, look to outposition you, just kind of win through those methods. Now, Outlaw, oh boy, out of the fire, and 6N right on his heels. They are really, really wanting to finish this KWT team off. They don't want to see them in the finals. They know what they're capable of. Not real interested in seeing them there.
This definitely has to feel bad for the Kuwait team, as no doubt the